Here we go then, it's time for the women to take on their championship game live here from the Butts Park Arena here in Coventry. The sun is shining here this afternoon and we are basking in the late afternoon sunshine ahead of kickoff here at 5 o'clock. It's an absolute pleasure to have your company, Stephen Jameson, Tash Crum, and this magnificent trophy, this monolith that's almost as big as Tash herself, is what our ladies this afternoon are going to be playing for, Tash, and it is quite the prize.
It really is. I think it's the biggest one they've given out yet. So I hope the teams are really up for this because they've got one hell of a trophy to return home with.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope the captain who gets it is maybe a lineman, is all I'd say, because that's going to be heavy. But either way, we are here for a fantastic game. Birmingham Lions have made the big game again, as well as the Solent Thrashers. Now, we have to talk about both teams, but we're going to talk about Birmingham first. They're the establishment, if you like. They've been here so many times before, but they're up against a sort of young upstart, and this game has quite an interesting dynamic about it.
Yeah, when I was talking to both head coaches before the game, it was really interesting because both of them brought up about how during the regular season their game was another really competitive game today, which is quite exciting. And I think especially Birmingham, they've been here, they've done it before. Is it that they're comfortable and they're so used to doing it that actually Solent could take it away?
Maybe. That is one of the big questions that we're going to have to ask today. If you are just joining us and weren't with us earlier for the Under-19s Championship game, we will issue another congratulations to London Blitz, who took down their 10th title. Edinburgh Napier Knights, the team defeated there. But let's throw back to 2024 and we talk about Birmingham Lions because they are the defending champions. That's big.
Yeah, it is big, and it was actually quite surprising. I think it was back in 2023 where the London Warriors actually beat them, and it was quite a shocker because Birmingham were coming in heavily the favourites, and kind of the Warriors took that away from them. But then it was the rematch last year, and yeah, Birmingham got it back, and so it was extremely exciting for them to do that, and I think they'll really want to take home the trophy again today.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hear from the Birmingham head coach.
I'm here with Birmingham Lions Women's head coach Wayne Hill. How are you doing today, Wayne?
I'm very well, thank you. It's a football day, so it's a good day.
Amazing. And you've got good weather as well.
Yeah.
Perfect football weather. Yeah, well, for now, fingers crossed. So it's been a bit of an up and down season for the Lions, not kind of your typical dominance. What are you expecting from today's game?
Yeah, I mean, today's going to be a really tough game. Solent are a great football team. Obviously, had a tough game against them earlier in the season. So we need to come out today and prove who we are and hopefully get a situation where we have our opportunity to take the field and show what we can do.
And you've been here before. This is not a first-time championship game. Do you think this is really going to help you in terms of your preparation and getting, I guess, everyone in the right headspace?
Yeah, I think so. We've had a lot of experienced players and obviously they've been really supportive this past kind of couple of weeks. Obviously we've got a number of players from GB as well, so they've been at the big occasion as well. So that's been really beneficial for the new players that have been around. But really for us now, it's kind of, we have our general game day routine, so just go ahead and do that and then it's just another game really.
And you say about new players, we've seen on your roster that you've got a few new players that, as you say, that might not be used to the championship game day, but are there any to look out for that I guess are ones to watch?
Yeah, no, I think that all of them need to just take their opportunity. So on offence, defence, there's new players on both sides and they need to take their opportunity. They're there with experienced players, but I think you'll see one or two of them really step up today. So I'm not going to name anyone, but yeah, there's a few there that are going to be really good.
Amazing. Well, have a great game day and thank you so much for taking time to talk to us.
Brilliant, thank you very much. Cheers.
Yeah, lovely to hear from Coach Hill there. Tash asking the questions, and now time to ask you a question because I want you to tell us a little bit about the Solent Thrashers, a new team, certainly in the women's game, and this is quite the story.
Yeah, they've had so much growth over the last couple of years, and I think it's great because there are some other teams that have been established for a lot longer than they have, and they're already at the points of playing nines and having such and coming to a final. It's really great to see, and I think it's a testament to what they've been able to do.
Yeah, completely agree. They've had to give up a lot to be here today. It's a long old trip up from Southampton, let me tell you. And let's catch up with their head coach, who Tash spoke to a little bit earlier.
Yeah, really excited. It's been a good season. Buzzing to be here. Yeah, we are quite young, coaching staff-wise. I feel like a bit of a granddad in the room when my coordinators are sort of best part of 10 years younger than me, and I'm only 35.
I mean, that's quite a good look to the future, though, I guess, for the history. So.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and I guess with it being your first time, but the men's Thrashers team have actually been in a final before here.
Yep.
Was there anything that you could take from their performance and their learnings? Did they give you a bit of encouragement before you came here?
Not directly from the team, but yes, from the team, because I was on that team in 2019. So I've kind of used my own experiences to help guide us and get us ready for today. The final, other coaches have also been in finals, and we've got players that have been in the big games before as well. So there is a bit of experience, even though we're a young team. So yeah, hopefully the stage isn't too big for them.
And you had a really great game, a very close game against the London Warriors Women to get here. Was that kind of a bit of a shocker of you actually winning and being able to get to the final, or did you kind of always have that hope throughout that game?
I wouldn't say a shock, but we've played them. That was the third time we played them this season. Both games in the regular season were close. Very much like the first game, obviously we lost by one score. Second game, it was a couple scores, but they scored one right at the end, which obviously always makes it look a bit nicer on paper for them. So going in there, we knew we could hang with them. We've done it this season, and then obviously we'd beaten Birmingham earlier in the year. So I think that was the sort of little bit of a catalyst for the team to kind of have a little bit of self-belief that the coaches have had in them from the start of the season, that we can actually hang with the so-called big teams and actually get the wins.
And talking about catalysts, are there any key players to watch during today's game?
Oh, we got a few. Our quarterback, Ailey Curry, she's a fucking fantastic player. Sorry about that. Sarah Jane Brain on D-line, Georgia Teague on D-line. Mo Delaney is our sort of linebacker safety type. Last time we played, she got a pick six against Birmingham, which sort of secured the win. Yeah, offensively, and then we've got Tuva Strom, receiver, who can blow the top off the coverages quite nicely.
So some really great opportunities for them to hopefully showcase their talents. And I know you mentioned some big GB names there,
Absolutely.
So hopefully they can stand out even further.
Hopefully.
Well, have a great game. Wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Here we go then, it is almost time to dance for these two great sides. Birmingham Lions, who've been here and done it at the top level, and Solent Thrashers, who are looking to become maiden champions of this wonderful trophy. It should be an absolute belter, this, in the late afternoon summer sun here in Coventry, and you can enjoy it all in the company of Oliver Wilson and Tash Crump.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Yes, it couldn't be a more picturesque setting as the shadows just start to elongate across the hollowed AstroTurf of the Butts Park Arena. The NWFL Championship game. It's all built up to this, a season of guts and desire, and for some unlucky and unlikely defeats, but it is the Cinderella story of the Solent Thrashers taking on the provincial powerhouse of Britbowl, the Birmingham Lions. Wayne Hill has been an integral part of the Birmingham Lions setup across the women's, men's, university game, you name it. Their head coach has been there, done that, and got the t-shirt. But Adam McClure, who has championship game experience as a player, brings his Solent Thrashers into their first ever NWFL championship game. And perhaps the Cinderella story can continue for one more night, or will Solent Thrashers turn into the pumpkins on the stroke of midnight? We will find out over the next few hours or so. We are patiently waiting with bated breath for the arrivals of the two teams who've been going through their warm-ups, as we can take a look at how they got here, the semi-finals. Well, it was a absolutely scintillating thriller between the London Warriors and the Solent Thrashers, a 14-13 victory. And similarly as well, the Birmingham Lions tested by the Teesside Steelers, just edging it out in a 4-point margin, 38-34. Birmingham aren't used to defeats, that's for sure. They have won this competition 7 times. They have been undefeated last year on their route to their last national championship. But 2 defeats on the regular season this season may just raise some eyebrows that perhaps the Lions' den is not all powerful as it once was. Our officials coming out for the game, led by Brian Yates, Kenny Glover, Roger Brown, Emma Harris, Henry Richardson, Mark Schofield and Ali May, taking centre stage for their moment in the sunshine. And I mean this in the nicest way to all officials up and down the country and involved with BAFRA when I say I hope we won't be mentioning their name too often throughout the course of this game. Once the officials come, there's the last little bit of tingling up and down the body as those players wait to get the call and make that run out. It's a moment that Birmingham have experienced time and time again. There are plenty in their ranks that already have the championship rings that were made last year with undefeated written on them. It's a new experience for the Solent Thrashers. How will they cope in the heightened anxiety, tension, and of course excitement of a championship game? You can just see there, just in your picture, the Solent Thrashers getting ready to make their way out. It's a moment that many of them will perhaps have a slight pinch me as they make their way out onto the field. Catherine Dale with the flag on the left, Sarah Jane Brain with the flag on the right, and the two of the captains leading out their team into a first national championship game. No doubt the Thrashers want to be sticking those flags in centre field come the end of this evening, that's for sure. But there is a beast just waiting to appear from their corner of this arena, littered with GB talent. It is going to take a Herculean effort for the Thrashers. Wayne Hill and the Birmingham Lions, perhaps the much fancied favourites. And it all looks very businesslike, doesn't it, as they wait for their arrival. Abby Medlar just on the right, helping to lead them out along with Polly Grimsley. Talent throughout, the exciting Ollie Davies. Raina Mayakar under centre, perhaps one of the most agile, hostile and mobile quarterbacks that we see in the women's game. And there's no fanfare, there's no jumping, there's no excitement. It looks like they've come here with one job and one job to do, and that's walk away with victory. Delighted to say who's made the run all the way from pitchside up to the commentary booth to join me, former running back and DB, which means she's perfect at giving us the insight on both sides of the ball this evening. Natasha Crump alongside myself, Oliver Wilson. These are moments, whether it's a championship game, whether it's a regular season game, these are the moments, Natasha, that I'm guessing you just thrive off. The anticipation brings so much excitement.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's that anticipation, but especially I think for the Solent Thrashers, Birmingham Lions have been there, done that. They kind of know this feeling, whereas Solent Thrashers, this will be so special for them, being such a young outfit and being able to be on this stage already.
We'll be having the national anthem before kickoff as the teams line up on their respective sidelines. There's nothing like the national anthem, as we said earlier, just to get the tingles even more tingly in the fingertips, the tippy toes, and all down the spine as well. In a moment, the captains will meet in the middle and go through the coin toss. I'm going to be very cruel to you here, though, Natasha, and ask you, what are your expectations for this afternoon? We've seen these two sides meet already this season. The Thrashers came away with a victory, again, perhaps unexpected. Does history repeat itself, or has Wayne Hill's Birmingham learnt from that game and learnt how to find that edge?
I think after speaking to both the coaches, the head coaches, before the start of the match, it was really crucial that Wayne highlighted that Solent did give them an incredible game and kind of not necessarily an unexpected win, but I think that it just shows what Birmingham need to do, and so they'll actually be able to go away, look at that tape and decide these are the gaps, this is what we need to fix, let's fix it to win this championship.
The Birmingham captain striking a pose before kick-off, as are the Thrashers on this near sideline, which shows that despite the business-like approach, particularly of Birmingham coming out pre-match, there's still some fun and frolics to be had down there on the field. And as we see so often, the Solent Thrashers linking arms, linking hands to make their walk out to midfield. It's a team based around unity. It's perhaps not the largest squad that you'll see in the NWFL. What it lacks perhaps in depth, it has in heart and desire. It's a big reason why they've got there this season, a 3-3 regular season record, taking on a Birmingham Lions 4-2 in the regular season. And then, as we touched on earlier, the thrills and drama of those semi-finals.
That's the coin, that's heads, that's tails, that's your heads, that's the tails. As native visiting team, you'll be calling the toss. Okay, what do you want to call it? Tails is called. It's a heads. So, I guess you want to take the ball? Okay, which way are you going to do?
You did the first bit so
Okay, turn the backs to the goal defender. Thank you.
you did the first bit so confidently and everyone
First half option was Solent, and they will take the ball. Thanks, girls. Enjoy the day. Very best of luck.
Brian Yates taking us through the coin toss. Birmingham deferring. Solent will take the ball first. Two teams that certainly have a real physical nature about them. We touched already on the Birmingham Lions and the strength and quality they have in an offensive line littered with GB quality talent. Solent Thrashers as well, though, are physical, firm, and they have some real weapons, including Catherine Dale in that tight end position that could be a big difference maker in the battle up front and in that passing game as well. And she and that offense are going to get first nod in the championship game. Two teams that we're expecting then, Natasha, much like their colours that they wear, to be beating each other black and blue today.
Yeah, quite literally. Something that we talked about earlier was about the defence, the defensive plays. We want to see more from both of these teams. Actually, Solent had a great defensive game against Birmingham last time, actually coming up with a pick six, which helped them to win the game. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how tough they can be, but especially making sure their defences are coming out on top.
That 37-24 victory for the Thrashers. That will be in the mind's eye of Wayne Hill and his coaching staff, that's for sure. I'm sure it'll be in the mind's eye of Adam McClure as well. And there will be a sense of no fear for the Thrashers as they take on Birmingham this afternoon. The talk has been talk, the walk now must be walk. Birmingham to kick off and get us underway. Catherine Stanley getting herself set up. And the NWFL National Championship game is underway. Mo Delaney allows it to run past her and she'll collect it at about her own 8-yard line on that right side of the Thrashers field. Brought down just as she crosses the 10, and it'll be a 1st and 10 from about the 11 for the Thrashers and their offence coming out. It's not perhaps the most high-powered offence, but it's physical. The big question is around the missing personnel. Steph Wyatt, running back, has played for Team GB. She's not on the game day roster today, though, due to personal circumstances which should take precedent. I believe she's away on her honeymoon, and we wish her both congratulations for her marriage and the best time on her honeymoon. But she's going to be a big missing piece of the puzzle for the Thrashers on offence, and we'll see how they cope without her on this first drive of the game. Snap out of the gun, it's a fake handoff and taken to the outside by Ailey Curry. She is the star to keep an eye on, cutting it back across. Oh, she's dropped the ball down at the 25-yard line. Curry's been able to jump back on it just at the last moment. From superior to near disaster for the Thrashers, and if that's going to be how this game is going to go, this is going to be a whirlwind affair.
It was something that actually we were told to look out for, because Ailey Curry is especially good on her feet. She is a running back for GB, so we expect her to run the ball a lot.
She's going to come out of the gun, empty backfield this time, brings Sophie Hemmons alongside her as she takes the snap, takes the direct run straight up the middle, brought down though by Beth Watkins at about the 30-yard line, gain of 4 as the Thrashers try to get this offense moving on the ground. It's Curry once again keeping it. It's a lot of pressure to put on a quarterback if you're asking her to be the run game and the pass game. But the Thrashers do like to pride themselves on having an accurate and definitive pass game on that offense as they come out of the gun once more. Running back alongside Curry. She takes a snap. It's a direct run up the middle again and is able to work her way forward for another 3-yard gain or so, and a 3rd and short coming up, maybe 3rd and 2 on this opening drive.
Yeah, we really need her O-line there to hold strong and really get those blocks in, else she's not going to make much of a move there.
Lou Robbins on that O-line, another one of the captains, a GB player as well, plays in mixed football as well. She's the one as the centre, feeding it into the hands of Curry out of the gun once again. 2 receivers to her right, 2 spread left. As Curry steps back, she's got time and the ability to throw, and she's able to find her target. Dumped off to Catherine Dale, who's able to get a fresh set of downs up at the 45-yard line. The tight end just drifting across, and the Thrashers keep things moving.
Yeah, Jade Crick there from the Lions managing to make the tackle, which was crucial at the end of the day. It stopped them getting any further down the field.
It's a positive start for the Thrashers. It's momentum that Adam McClure would have wanted to see from his team early on. We saw it in that under-19 game, the Edinburgh Napier Knights stalling on their first drive, and it seemed to rattle them slightly as they give the handoff this time to Hemmons, who tries to bounce it off that right side, but going left to right, east to west, isn't going to get the job done. She's brought down by Ollie Davies, the DB and Team GB for Birmingham.
Yeah, it was important there for, we saw the receiver lost her block, which meant instantly the Lions could get on the running back there.
Interested to see the role that Sophie Hemmons plays. She's also noticed in warm-up that she can throw the ball too, and I just wonder if that will maybe become a utility play, maybe a trick play that the Thrashers have up their sleeve later on. 2nd and 13 after the loss on the run. And it's going to be another scramble from Curry once again, who is able to get away up towards the 50-yard line, just shy of enemy territory, but it'll make it a much more manageable 3rd and 5 coming up here for the Thrashers.
You can tell that she's really used to running with the ball there. It was the way that she pumped her legs to keep the game going, and that's exactly what you need. You want somebody that will be able to keep the play running and make sure that you get more yards.
This Birmingham defence is not breaking, but it's certainly bending slightly as Curry comes out the gun once again. Spread formation, running back alongside. Got pressure coming, but she's able to stand in the pocket, throw it downfield, and it falls incomplete. There was great penetration on that left side of the line for Birmingham by Sarah Layton, and the Finnish international player, one to certainly keep an eye out on that D-line for Birmingham today.
I think it's great that Birmingham have some of those big players from the European, from other European countries. It's what's actually making them stand out right now, and she keeps breaking that line and keeps managing to make those plays.
Great poise shown there, though, by Curry to stand in the pocket and wait for as long as she could. She takes a snap on 4th down. There's no punt coming. Curry's going to send an air ball up down that centre of the field, looking on the seam route for Tuva Strom, but falling short on the incomplete pass, and turnover on downs as the Thrashers suddenly stall at midfield, and an important body blow from the Birmingham Lions defence to stifle that momentum early. We talk about it, Tash, all the time in American football, how momentum can swing on such simple plays, such small plays. A rogue 2nd down can suddenly put it right back in your favour once again. but a big stop and slowing down an offence that started brightly is going to hit well for Birmingham's defence.
Yeah, I think what Ailey did really well there is really kept her composure to ensure that she could make plays, even if it meant running it herself. But what Birmingham have done extremely well is their defence have put their offence in a great position to make a play here.
Yeah, Birmingham are going to start in enemy territory at the 49-yard line. Mayakar, the quarterback, as she just gives the hand off. It looked like there was a face mask in there as the running back crossed maybe 3 yards in front of the line of scrimmage. Flags fly, and we'll wait to see what Brian Yates has to say. But it looked like a pretty clear face mask on the running back, and a nasty one to say welcome to a national championship game.
Yeah, and if it's Ruth Matter that's in there in that running back position, so quick, so nifty, that actually people find it difficult too.
Defence, 15 yards from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
There we go.
Kind of penalties that you do not want to give up, especially early on, as it marches that Thrashers defence back 15 yards. And it was Ruth Matter who had a face cage pulled, the MVP of the championship game last year. Certainly a character in the game, should we say. I hear she's threatened to retire for about the last 3 seasons in a row, and she keeps coming back. I thought I was out, but they pull you back in. As the Lions set up first and 10 from the 34-yard line. Receiver goes in motion as Mayakar just gives the handoff. Matter bounces away through the middle and then skips it off to the left sideline. She's up to the 10, down at the 6-yard line, pushed out of bounds. But Matter gets things rocking and a-rolling as Birmingham start to show their power on offence.
Yeah, it was Mo Delaney there with the with the big tackle. It's exactly what Mo Delaney's there to do, and that's something that Adam McClure told us to look out for, was Mo and her abilities. If we look here with Ruth bouncing out again, and then that chase that come across from the safety, Mo there, and an absolute TD saving tackle right there.
Mo Delaney, the last line of defence, and was certainly needed as Birmingham set up first and goal from around about the 6-yard line. It goes to Mayakar, who hands it off once more, and they'll look to use that running game again as Grace John gets those feet working down towards the 2-yard line. Birmingham knocking on the door here, second and goal. Plymouth Blitz player at university, Grace John, South Wales Warriors player as well. Looks like she's staying in again alongside Mayakar as they come out of the gun. Mayakar takes the snaps, a direct snap though to the running back John, whether it's intended or not, it doesn't really matter as she tries to force her way through, stood up at the goal line, but touchdown is given by the official on that far side of the field, and Birmingham are on the board early. A 4th down stop at midfield turns into a 49-yard drive that gets the first 6 points on the board, and it's one of their keys in their backfield, Grace John, that gets the party started for the Lions.
It's exactly how I thought this game was going to go in terms of what the Lions will come out with on offense. They have some great wide receivers, but their real attack is on the run game, and it's what they've shown so far with Ruth Matter and, as you say, Grace John making a name for herself already in this game.
Yeah, it's a big 1-2 punch to have, that's for sure, as the Lions, much like we saw with the London Blitz, going for the 2-point conversion rather than looking for the field goal. Mayakar has John alongside her. Receiver goes in motion is Claire as they hand it off once again to the woman that got the touchdown. Is she stopped short? It looks like she is. It's just 6 points on the board. Can't run the same thing twice, the Lions, as the Thrashers at least recover and keep them out the second time.
Yeah, Solent did a great job there plugging the holes, making sure they couldn't actually get that run through. And I hope that they're going to be doing more of that, as we saw with the under-19s game. The Edinburgh Nipers Knights, they had a shaky start, and it's kind of what we saw a little bit from Solent, and then we saw the Blitz come out and absolutely attack Edinburgh, and so I think that's exactly what Lions are doing right now to Solent.
Yeah, if you haven't got the experience, we see the touchdown again for Birmingham, it's worth, and I'm sure Wayne Hill will have said it, and it's not going to sound like the nicest thing, but step on throats when you get on top. In championship games, you want to be ruthless, and you don't want to leave any opportunities for somebody to get back into this. And an early score for Birmingham setting the tone, particularly in the physical nature of that run game. Now it depends what's going to be the response from the Solent Thrashers. It's a long way to come up here to Coventry from their home base down south to come away with nothing. No doubt Adam McClure will be expecting another positive start to this drive, as it was on their opener that stalled at midfield. Stanley will kick it off downfield. Delaney is one of those back there looking to return. It's towards Delaney at the 22-yard line, but bounces off her shoulder, and she's got to collect this at about the 7-yard line. Now, where does Delaney go from here? Trying to shuffle off to that right side, and she runs straight into Ollie Davies. Another important big tackle from the GB DB. And the Thrashers will start at their 18-yard line. Now, what can the response be? Do you start sticking to game plans, Tash? Do you start thinking about making adjustments already after that first drive? We saw perhaps what worked and what doesn't for the Thrashers.
Yeah, it's so early on in the game. I think that you can't necessarily change just yet because they're only down by a score. They can easily make this back. It's when you start to go down by more than one score, that's when you have to start to make those adjustments. But also, they've seen how Birmingham's defence are going to come out. They can now actually start to play the game against the defence and make sure that they spot those holes.
Thrashers are all about tempo, tempo, tempo as they come out of the gun once again. Curry looking down the middle. It's a pass almost into double coverage, just away from the fingertips of Jade Crick, as Davis was there as well on the coverage, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, we were told to look out for Catherine Dale, the tight end, and actually Dale on that play was completely wide open. If that had been spotted, that could have easily been a touchdown.
Yeah, making a neat burst just on that seam route through the centre, but the Thrashers get nothing for it, and a 2nd and 10 coming up. Curry takes it. She's got an easy dump off. Pressure's coming though, and she's going to take it off herself, get the skates moving, and up that left sideline. It's a first down and more for Curry. She crosses the 40-yard line up to the 45, pushed out of down at the 47. Well, if you don't see anything too obvious, you might as well take it on yourself and see what you can get on the ground. And certainly Ailey Curry is not shy about taking this whole offense on her own shoulders.
Yeah, if we watch this replay here, great watching, a good read, holds onto the ball, makes her way out to the sideline, exactly what you want. And then you've got all of your blockers there doing what they need to do. It was just unfortunate that last one tackled.
Laura Hendricks was the one on the chase initially as Curry looks to the air on first down from near midfield. It falls incomplete, however, with the intended target being Georgia Teague. It was a really strong press coming off that left side of the Birmingham Lions defence, though, that flushed Curry out, and she just had that lane on the left sideline.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, but constantly keeps coming out that pressure from the Lions, and unfortunately it doesn't give Curry enough time to actually react and do anything.
She's got Hemmons alongside her now, Curry, on 2nd down and 10. 3 receivers to the right. Looks like it's going to be man coverage from Birmingham, as it's a design QB run for Curry, who gets stopped short. It's well stuffed up the centre. I think it was Hendricks who was coming in and got the tackle. Laura Hendricks, who was on the chase the last time Curry got moving, and she wasn't going to be chased and beaten for pace that time, as the quarterback ran straight into her arms up the centre. Third and long coming up for the Thrashers, again towards midfield. It's a fake look from Curry, and then she's dragged down in the backfield for a sack. Absolutely nowhere to go. Once again, Hendricks in on the tackle along with Sarah Leighton.
Yeah, it's something that actually you really want your receivers now to start coming into the game, because the only run game we're seeing so far from the Thrashers is from Curry. And actually, if you're not going to bring your running backs into it, this is where you need your receivers to step up and actually start making some plays, especially Georgia Teague. Georgia Teague is somebody we've been told to look out for, so it'd be great to see her actually come into the game and get Curry some airtime.
Adam McClure just watching over and seeing what this offense can do on a fairly sizable 4th down in terms of its importance, with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's going to be the punt instead. Thought for a second they might think about going for it, as it's boomed down towards the 20-yard line, collected by Davis, who's juggling it slightly, gets away from the first tackler, but brought down by Georgia Teague, who's in to make the contact. 7-on-7. Teague a little slow to get up after making that hit, but importantly not allowing Ollie Davis to squirm away and work into the open space that was starting to appear on that left side.
Yeah, the moment we saw Curry in that back position, knew it was going to be a punt. She is one of the kickers and punters for GB, so bit of a multi-talent there that we've got, but it was great also to see Georgia T come into the game there, make that tackle to ensure that Ollie Davis did not do what Ollie Davis can do, which is run that down the field.
How difficult do you imagine it is for someone like Georgia Teague, who does some coaching herself, to step away from that coaching role, be the player again, take that advice, not try and be the coach out there on the field, although I'm sure it's an asset too.
It's probably a great opportunity to do that leadership role instead.
Birmingham come out from the gun, handed off once more to John, who's trying to bounce out to the right. Excuse me, it's Mata who's on the move, and Mata has got space in front of her, and there's nobody who's going to catch her as Mata goes down the sideline. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Birmingham. Brutally effective for 75 yards on the ground, and the Lions extend their advantage, and it's the first head of that two-headed backfield in Ruth Mata who gets her name on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Ruth Mata doing Ruth Mata things. I'm surprised the stadium hasn't started chanting the roof is on fire yet. But that's exactly what we expect to see from Ruth Mata. It's what she's been doing for all the many years she's been playing, not only for Birmingham Lions but for GB as well, coming straight down the sideline, straight into the end zone.
Open field in front, only one on the chase really. Sarah Jane Brain was the one who was trying to make the tackle as they go for the two-point conversion again, and it's a bulldozing run from Grace John that gets coos from the supporters up here in the stands as she rocks her way in for the two-point conversion.
Yeah, here's the replay from Ruth's run. Bounce to the outside.
Great job blocking downfield, you just see there from Sophia Clare, who made sure she got into that secondary early and opened up the space in front of Mata to be able to continue her burst.
And then second angle there, you can just see the determination. She knows she just needs to get to the end zone. Bit of an early celebration as well. Don't mind that.
Unfortunately, there's no big screen to look at the behind the end zone, a la Devon Hester when he took that Super Bowl kickoff back for a touchdown. But I'm sure if she could look up and see that, it'd have been a very similar attitude of just daylight in front and chasing black and gold in the rear. Birmingham have suddenly got themselves a two-score advantage, 14-0, as quick as a flash. It's 4:38 to go in this first quarter. There's no time really for that Thrashers offense with the quick score for Birmingham to really sit down and think about what they can do to make some adjustments, as the kickoff is not fielded again by Delaney. She has to pick it up once more at the 10. Now has she got any room in front of her? Two blockers ahead as she works her way up towards that right sideline in between the hash marks and down at about the 26-yard line, which again is where the Thrashers will set up. They've got to midfield pretty much in their last two drives. Why is it stalling at that point?
I think for the Thrashers, it's stalling at that point because they're taking so many downs to get there that Birmingham are able to read them. They're able to then make adjustments, start to plug holes, but also you can already see there's a bit of tiredness on the team. We saw Georgia Teague, unfortunately, after that Ruth Mata touchdown, limp off the field in front of us. And so I think there are a couple of players that are normally their standout players not necessarily being able to make the plays.
Three backs alongside Curry as the handoff isn't exactly a clean one, and then it's stuffed in the backfield by Jules Robinson. A bell ringer, to say the least, that caught Sophie Hemmings early, quick, and with an almighty hit.
Jules Robinson, a very experienced player, been playing for many years for the Lions, and I think that's where they do have real strength, is they've got so much experience on their side.
Going with this three running back formation, almost in a triangle around Curry, who takes the snap out of the gun. She's going to fake the handoff, pressure coming in front of her, and she's got a ball downfield that's going to fall incomplete for Tuva Strom, which was just overthrown. You saw the Thrashers, what they were trying to do with those receivers, get them on those drag seam routes, and then there's just no time for Curry to set her feet and get a clean ball off.
It's just really important there as a wide receiver to actually keep running. It's one of the things that you want to see. If as a running back you're making the block, if as a QB you're managing to get the space to actually get the ball off, if you see your receiver stop running when they have clear space, it's actually quite disappointing.
So Curry's got the sun in her eyes at this point as they give the quick handoff to Georgia Teague, who's stuffed in the backfield. It's hit for another loss as she's brought down at the 22-yard line, and the Thrashers are going the wrong way on this drive. as Birmingham are starting to really grow in their control of this Thrashers offence.
Zoe John with the tackle there, another one of Birmingham's GB players. Been very prominent on the GB team, and I think most recently potentially actually captained them, which was a great honour for her.
I've assigned it to a button so I can get it.
Really showing her her experience there.
Yeah, leading by example as well. And the number of leaders that Birmingham have on this team, as the Thrashers are going to come out for the punt. Curry's going to roll to the left slightly and try and hoist it downfield as far as possible. Takes a bounce and out of bounds at the 50-yard line. Birmingham will start from midfield. It was a 75-yard touchdown last time. They've got an extra 25 yards on their starting position as the Thrashers fall short around about their own 20 on offence, and Birmingham could really land a big killer blow with 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. And I imagine it's going to be more of the same with that running game.
Yeah, massively. The running game's working for Birmingham right now. Solent don't really have the answers to stop them, because I think the big thing is Birmingham have speed in their run game. Even if you don't have power, as long as you've got speed, that's all that you need to be able to get to the outside, because as we can see on this field, there is so much space on the sidelines. Get to the sidelines, run downfield, you're in every time.
Yeah, you're going to have that sort of space in nine-person football, aren't you, though, on these sorts of fields, which just give that little bit more real estate for running backs to be able to utilise on the edges, and it's not quite so difficult to get the edge of a three-man line as well as the Lions come out. Mayaka with a running back alongside her, two receivers in the tight position to the right. This is going to be handed off to Sophia Clare, who's brought down in the backfield. Ball comes out, Birmingham pounce on it straight away. And it's about as bad as a play could go for the Birmingham Lions, and it's about as awkward an offensive possession that we've seen so far. And hope suddenly for that Thrashers defence as Birmingham take around about a 10-yard loss.
I think that the luck all went in Birmingham's favour there, like it has so far. And it's quite interesting when we look at that play. If Solent had just been able to get down and just been able to jump on that ball, they could have gotten a really good field position. And actually their first time in the half.
It's the first time we've seen some bit of trickery with the receiver Jet as they show that again, but then hand it off instead to Grace John, who makes her way forward and gets almost all 10 yards back from that initial loss. It's still going to be a 3rd and long coming up for Birmingham, but far more manageable than the 2nd and 19 that was in front of her, as Wayne Hill is watching over and pays plenty of attention to the play call sheet as much as what's going down on the field. Great to have a player or a coach with so much experience, with so many different players, but at championship level teams as well. Wayne Hill, it's an asset on the sideline, as well as that experience out there on the field for the 9 for Birmingham that are on offence and looking to go from the gun once again with tight end right, 2 receivers right as well. Mayaka takes the snap, drops back, doesn't get to use that mobility. She sends it skywards, hit as she threw, and it falls incomplete as Laura Stevens was the intended target. The penetration from Tuva Strom, getting though to Mayaka and putting her off, and a 4th down coming up.
Mo Delaney nearly getting the interception, which would have been so great to see to get some momentum in Solent's favour with how much Birmingham have had. But it's good to see Birmingham start to use their wide receivers and start to look maybe at some passing plays, but I have a feeling they're probably going to revert back to the run at some point soon if it doesn't go in their favour any longer.
You have to have a balanced offence, of course, but at the same time, if it's going so well, why deviate from what's been working? As a 4th and 13 comes out for Birmingham, and I expect we are going to see the punt unit rather than any sort of trickery on 4th down. And they set up with just the centre in the traditional line position. As Birmingham sends shooters down the right, punted away by Ruth Matter. It goes high into the sky, takes a backward bounce that will help the Thrashers slightly, and they collected on the 33-yard line, which is where their next drive will start. That Birmingham sideline looking very calm and easy, though, with a 14-0 lead and just over a minute to go in this first quarter of the NWFL National Championship game 2025. As the Thrashers offense comes out once more, we've seen them attempt to pass, we've seen a lot of run, we've not seen too many successful handoffs to the likes of Sophie Hemmons. How can this offense compete against the Lions' penetration that they're getting?
Yeah, I think they really need to start using different players. They know that Curry can come out running. They know that Curry can make those plays. They're going to constantly be blitzing, trying to get through the line to get to Curry. Curry can utilise some other players, and they can really start to use their speed. That's how they're going to get going.
Lions look like they're going to bring at least 4 as Curry takes a snap, drops back, tries to bounce out to the left. She's going to have a job getting the 10 yards as she gets up to around about a 5-yard gain before she's stopped on this near sideline.
She did a great job there, as you say, getting out of that pocket and was basically chased down like a group of lionesses in their pride, trying to hunt the deer. And unfortunately, Curry was that deer that they were going after, but it's the same thing every single time, just a sea of blue coming at the Thrashers.
That's going to wear down Curry as well if she keeps taking shots like that. It was a hefty blow that knocked her down to the deck when she was met by 2 Birmingham Lions in one moment. Receiver goes in motion, flags on the field, maybe some early movement down there. As Catherine Dale was trying to set herself up and give herself a running start on that play.
False start. Number 6, Solent. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Sophie Hemmons penalised for the early start, and that's a 5-yard trip back that negates the yardage picked up on that run by Curry. Again, penalties like that will just frustrate Adam McClure slightly on that sideline to see some progression being made. He's right down there following every single play as close as he can almost. You see him just trying to shade his eyes on that sideline with the sun, which is obviously going to be affecting Curry slightly as well as she takes the snap out of the gun. Pressure coming up the middle once more. Great work to evade it and find some running room on this left side of the field as she tries to use her blockers neatly. Hemmons with a superb hit to give Curry some extra yardage, and she picks up the 1st down.
Yeah, that was a great play there. And actually, if you look at the linemen in that, we've got a replay coming up in just a second. If you watch the linemen here, they all lose their blocks, but then they all get back to make sure that they're in position to give Curry that space and to make sure that the D linemen aren't launching on her so that she can get upfield.
At the end of the 1st quarter, after that impressive run from Curry, just as the Thrashers want to get tempo, they have to be paused by the end of this 1st quarter, which we've seen a little bit of everything. We've seen mistakes on both sides of the ball for both teams. We've seen some hard running, some wonderfully elusive play, particularly from the Thrashers quarterback, Ailey Curry. But what we have seen most importantly, I suppose, Tash, is that dominance on the scoreboard, and that's where it matters most at the end of the day.
Yeah, Ruth Massa and Grace John have basically been the game changers in this for the Lions, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see how much more they're going to feature in this Lions and how many more they can actually score.
Would you expect perhaps the Thrashers start bringing an extra body or 2 up to that line and really trying to win that physical battle? If you can stuff the Birmingham run game, there's a sense, I think, coming into this from the wider women's American football community that Birmingham's passing game isn't as strong as the Thrashers coming into this. So if you can force them to go through the air, Birmingham, that's the way you can slow them down on offense as the Thrashers get going to start the 2nd quarter. Curry just rolling out to her right, tries that little pitch pass over the shoulder of Catherine Dale. It's just slightly off the mark, however, and it falls incomplete.
Unfortunately, I don't think Catherine Dale was expecting that. I think that she was expecting Curry to go on another one of her QB runs, but I can see it coming because you can see the pieces slowly coming together. You can see what they're trying to do. And I think that as they get further into this game, hopefully they'll be able to complete some of those.
Hemmons moving into the slot position on the right as Curry brings him out in a spread with a running back alongside her. Not seen too many attempts at a real deep shot down the sideline yet as Curry takes a snap, tries to drop into the pocket. There's pressure coming, which she does really well to evade and get away from 2 more. Can she ride the contact even more as she works her way forward? Stopped 2 yards short of the 1st down marker, but this is the Ailey Curry show right now on the Thrashers offense, and everybody's just a bystander or getting brutalised by that shoulder of hers.
I think that what the Thrashers did there really well was they put Georgia Teague in as the blocking running back. So instead of actually having a pure running back in, they wanted a blocker in to make sure that Curry had that support. If you watch here, it's that block from Teague right there.
Curry going again on the quick snap on 3rd down, is able to cross the 1st down marker and pick up a fresh set for the Thrashers, who may have just found some momentum once again. How much longer can Curry take this sort of punishment for, though, for the remainder of this game? Will be interesting to see the wear and tear this is putting on her, but she is having to do everything on her own right now. You were spot on there, Tash, too, about Georgia Teague coming in and just being that extra blocker, and the stop she put on Betsy Maudsley. Hyper important to give Curry that time to escape the pocket, as she's going to have to again. 3 Birmingham shirts in front of her. Throws it across the middle. The interception's dropped by Jules Robinson. Should have been taking that back into at least the 50-yard line. She had open space in front of her and an easy catch, and that's an opportunity miss for the Birmingham defence.
Yeah, there wasn't a receiver in sight. That was an easy pick-off, and it should be right now a Birmingham ball, which is actually quite disappointing for them.
It's a big let-off. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Thrashers then. That's one where you know the sideline for the Thrashers. Everybody's gone. The intake of breath collective from those there down on the field as they bring a man in motion, Catherine Dale, out to the right and then just pitch it off to Dale, who can't bring it down, twisting and turning, and maybe the sun playing a factor as well as she tried to spot the ball. Incomplete, and 3rd and 10 coming up.
Catherine Dale actually just signalled to the sideline, I can't see, just put her hand across her face cage, just saying, the sun, it's stopping us from being able to make these plays. So I think they are going to do some adjustments, like what they've done with putting Teague in the backfield as that blocker. They've been seeing where the overload's been coming in, putting Teague in that place, switching her, but now we've got Hemmings there in the backfield alongside.
Yeah, Teague and Hemmings both there supporting Curry as she takes the snap, fakes the handoff and dives straight up the centre of the field. She's going to pick up maybe 6-7 yards. In fact, she keeps on going and may have got herself a fresh set of downs, as she will just not go down. There were time and time again 2-3 Birmingham players seemed to have hands on, but it was only when Jules Robinson got her down on the deck as the Thrashers get a fresh set of downs and keep the chains moving.
This is where in nines it's really useful having a QB that can read the game, understands the game, and has actually got a running back within them, because they will keep the play going and be able to make moves like that.
Hemmings out in the slot position on the left side of the Thrashers offense as Curry trying to evade the pressure and somehow stays on her feet again. What a hit though. That's the punishment we're talking about. That's Jules Robinson getting a free shot on the Thrashers quarterback, and she might be slow to get up after that one.
Yeah, we've got the replay just here. If you watch this, it's actually number 61, Betsy Maudsley, who gets a hand on Curry, but then actually Jules Robinson right there grabbing, and that's what you want. You want someone going low to make sure they can't run any further. And if something I can say to these Lions is stop Curry's legs.
Well, that certainly stopped Curry's legs, as we've just got to pause down there on the field for the moment, and Curry is walking over, perhaps not looking and feeling quite as fresh as she was maybe half an hour ago or so, maybe even 30 seconds ago after that hit from Robinson. That is textbook tackling as well. That's, I'm sure, exactly what you teach and have been taught time and time again.
Solent,
shoulder
first, 9:21.
As the Solent are taking this time out to give their quarterback just a bit of time to recover from that hit. But yeah, that is textbook tackling. There's no way she's getting out of that.
No, it's what you've been saying earlier, Ollie. I mean, like you look at how many hits she's been taking. She needs a break, because if she's taking the hits and on top of that she's actually getting having to run, it's a lot. It ends up being a lot for one person to take on all themselves. So her team really need to be giving her a break right now, and I guess that's what the head coach has done by calling this time out.
She's down there on the sideline just by the 40-yard line or so. She stepped away from the rest of the offense. She's just taken on some extra hydration. It does raise again that question I was talking about earlier of maybe we'll see a bit of Sophie Hemmings as well, taking a handful of snaps just to limit the wear and tear on Curry, but she's going straight back out there once again, the warrior that she is. With 9:21 to go in this second quarter, the Thrashers down 14-0 against Birmingham, but they're in Lions territory, albeit at the 34-yard line. Does it look like we were about to get restarted once more, but the officials just causing a pause on the field once again. Brian Yates just in discussion with his fellow officials in the white cap. The break is obviously great for Curry. It's great for the Birmingham defence as well, though, because they get to just, after having to deal with the runs of Curry and that mobility where they're getting pushed and pulled all over the place, Birmingham.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening right now, but it looks like Curry's having to take a break. I think it links into this whole you can't take your helmet off before you've left the field. If she's taken her helmet off while she's on the field, she then has to take one play out, which is why they've now put Georgia Teague in in that quarterback position, as you said, it would make more sense to do Sophie Hemmings, but
Who are we to argue with Anna McClure as the snap goes back and it's launched by Mo Delaney downfield, looking for the aerial shot to Tuva Strom. It falls incomplete, and well, Curry can get back in there now as the change of personnel is taken once again, and Delaney makes her way off to the sideline, as does Hemmings, the slightly more diminutive number 6, as the Birmingham Lions sideline once again, just looking very calm and controlled and watching on to see if their defence can find an important stop and keep Thrashers out of the end zone and eating into their 2-score advantage here in Coventry.
they've actually made another change in their backfield too, with Elise Wood coming in to be that blocker.
Wood alongside Curry then, who takes the snap, looking for maybe an option as they give it instead on the jet to Strom, who finds some space and finds a way through up to the first down marker and beyond, and she's going in for the touchdown. Tuva Strom on the jet after the fake option, and it's the Thrashers on the board. A bit of creativity and a bit of mobility from their receiver, and they've got 6 points on the board.
You did say that we were going to see a trick play from Solent, but it wasn't the trick play that we thought. The development from that was exactly what we've been wanting to see from Solent. We've been wanting to see some excitement, some creativity, and that fake, it even put me off.
I mean, we were all waiting for the pitch from Curry that seemed like it was coming, and just coming round the edge, Tuva Strom from that slot position the other way, and then everybody in that Birmingham defence zigging when they should be zagging, so to speak, because Curry's going to come out and try and kick the extra point. It's a great snap and hold, and the kick is no good. Stays at 6, wide left in the end from Curry, who can do pretty much everything today, as we take a look once again at that touchdown.
Yeah, we watch here, the fake's coming in now. And it's as you see that gap, Tuva Strom just absolutely seeing complete and utter clear field. But also the block. The block is what made that. And it was the block from, I think, Deanna Jones that actually allowed Strom to keep going and to get the touchdown. Yeah,
sealing in that edge beautifully. That gives Strom the opportunity to suddenly be one-on-one with the secondary, and a dip of the shoulder, a shimmy and a shake, and she's dancing into the end zone to get the Thrashers on the board and eat into that 14-point advantage that the Lions did once hold. 8-point game now here in Coventry with 8:55 to go in the second quarter. The Solent Thrashers on the board after what has been an up and down opening for the Cinderella story of the NWFL Championship game. I still can't believe that Wood didn't get the option pitch there from Curry off that left side. Set up beautifully as the Birmingham Lions get set to return this kickoff. Curry will send it into opposition territory. It's taken at the 20-yard line, albeit dropped and then recollected by Davis, who tries to find a way up the centre of the field. She's met by 2 Thrashers. Ball comes out as well. Whistles blow, and I think they're going to call that as Davis being down by contact rather than the ball coming out. Birmingham will take possession at the 33-yard line or so. Come out 1st and 10, and do they revert back to that running game that was so profitable early on, or do they, as we saw towards the end of that first quarter, start to try and use the aerial attack a bit more?
Yeah, I think that kickoff was extremely interesting in terms of the Birmingham Lions, because they love to do the trick play where they do the reverse and they come out the other side, and you could see both of the returners going towards each other, but then suddenly Solent were there and they couldn't make the move they wanted to make.
Mayakar coming out of the gun. Running back alongside her as they do give the handoff to Matter, who finds a crease up the centre that is immediately filled by Sarah Jane Brain. Myself and Danny Brain, both captains on that Solent Thrashers sideline, but not related. I have been very much told on that one. I was deep in my research trying to find out if it was sisters playing alongside each other. Just namesakes. An important stop though by the Thrashers number 61, just filling that gap in the centre of the line and giving Ruth Matter no wiggle room. Mayakar comes out again. Receiver in motion, and they give the little pitch to Sophia Clare, who takes that jet off the left side of the line and finds a way to pick herself up another 7 yards or so, and a 3rd and 3 coming up for the Birmingham Lions.
Solent Thrashers are really starting to find their feet, and I think that touchdown has helped give them some momentum, because we've seen a completely different defence come out that are coming out strong. They're making team tackles, and that's what you want to see, and we haven't seen that so far from them. They're actually blocking holes and really stopping some of the Lions' plays that have been, until this point, quite simple.
Just shows you what putting an offensive drive together does to give your defence some rest and relaxation on the sideline, a chance to recuperate as Claire goes in motion once again. They hand it off up the middle though to Mata, who's trying to find that gap. Great penetration though once more by Sarah Jane Brain, who's able to bring her down short of the first down marker, and a 4th and short coming up.
Yeah, really great defensive move there, because Sarah Jane Brain was actually had pretty much tripped up and almost stopped the play, and then managed to recover it by grabbing Mata's legs. And it's similar to what we've said about Curry. If you want to stop a running back, if you want to stop a running player, you need to go low with your tackles and stop their feet from pumping, so that the rest of your team can come in and actually support you.
Georgia Teagan on the supporting effort as well, as Birmingham go for it on a 4th and 3 coming up, as they're going to give it to Mata. She does find that crease this time and works her way almost into opposition territory down at the 48-yard line. And 4 downs, Birmingham are that sort of position, always going to go for it. It's very difficult to stop Mata twice in a row, much like defending a national championship like Birmingham are trying to do today.
Yeah, Mata is unstoppable, and you can see as she penetrated that hole, she went straight through, and that's exactly what you want from your running back. You want them to run hard and fast the moment that a gap is produced.
6:20 to go. As the clock continues to tick away, and Birmingham look to make their way into Thrashers territory. Mata takes it as the snap is fumbled. Then it's fumbled down on the deck, but again there's a blue shirt immediately onto it as the Thrashers can't collect the fumble. That's 3 opportunities I'm counting now that they've had an opportunity for that turnover. Sophia Clare, the one able to pick it up and recover. It's a loss of about 5 yards on the play.
Extremely lucky there for Birmingham, because that was a close one. Could have easily been a Solent ball.
Tuva Strom, a name that we've said a couple of times already today, and we'll say a few more times throughout the broadcast. Perhaps one of the closest ones to being able to pounce on that. Birmingham taking 2 steps forward and then 3 steps back suddenly on this drive. 2nd and long coming up. Will they look to the air? Mayakar, 3 options in receiver. Mata in there as a blocking running back as Mayakar goes long down the field. Great defensive coverage. It was 2 against 1, but Emily Rodriguez there to stick a hand in between and make sure nobody's coming away with that.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want from a DB. Start close to the players. So even though it looked like both receivers had space to the side of them, so that if they had got it, they could run straight upfield. But actually, as a DB, you can give them a little bit of space, but as long as you're touching them and you're able to then get your arm up and bat the ball down, exactly what you want from your DB.
This is what the Solent Thrashers won as well. Birmingham in 3rd and 4th and long positions and forced to go to the air, which we might see again here with Mayakar. Dropping back, she's got the dump off to Mata. They try to set the screen up instead to Claire, but it falls incomplete. 4th and long coming up. And depending on how gutsy Wayne Hill is, I'm pretty sure we're going to see a punt and playing for territory.
Yeah, it's not that point in the game yet for them to worry too much. The punting crew will come out and do their job.
8-point advantage still for the Birmingham Lions, but what looked like it could have been a routine walk in Butts Park Arena has turned into a bit of a battle as Adam McClure's Thrashers have stuck a foot in the ground and said, we are not going to be pushed back any further at this point in time. Mata punting away. Taking at the 40, that's a muffed punt collection initially, but jumped on at the 2nd attempt. It was Davis who was causing the problem for Delaney, who needed 2 attempts, as we've seen on kickoffs as well, to collect that. No call for the fair catch, it looked like, either, so she left herself open to the contact.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a mistake there from Delaney, and we've seen it a couple of times, gone to catch the ball on those kicks and just not quite, maybe not got in the right position, but yeah, you really want to start correcting those, because that could have easily been a Birmingham first down.
After all the positivity of stopping that Birmingham Lions offence, it could have easily been taken away, but Curry gets to come out once again with the offence. And the Thrashers get set up, running back just to the left of the quarterback. Tuva Strom over on that left side for the Thrashers offense. 3 receivers to the right as Curry looks for the gap once again. It's almost like they've got the QB spy, and she's still able to get away from the linebacker. Lovely spin as well as she gets pulled down at the 42-yard line. And Curry just had to make that first backer miss, and Laura Hendricks couldn't get the tackle on her, and after that it was open space and a free-for-all in the secondary.
Yeah, it's the spin moves that Curry's making right now. If we watch this replay, so she gets the ball, and actually it's the way that now they're setting up their blocks in the backfield. They've now got a man-on-man situation, which then leaves that whole space open for Curry just to dive through, and then it's that move there that gets her just that little bit of extra yardage.
Every inch matters at this point. 1st and 10 coming up. Curry gives the pitch. That's what we were worried about in terms of flinging it around in the backfield. That one's fallen down on the deck. Have the Lions been able to pounce on it? It's a Birmingham ball. It's the error of being too tricky perhaps in the backfield as Elise Wood, Curry and Strom all could have a finger of blame pointed at them for that turnover.
Yeah, sometimes when you do a trick play and you want to make it work again, you've almost got the pressure on you to make it work again. Unfortunately, in that instance, it came up in Birmingham's favour.
And that's the difference as well on those trick plays of Birmingham getting penetration and Birmingham not getting penetration, it being allowed to develop. That time there were 2 blue bodies in the backfield that were disrupting everything for that Thrashers offense. Birmingham come out with the ball relatively close to where they finished their last drive, still just inside their own half at the 46-yard line. They give the hand off, and Matter's going to bounce it out to the left side. There's a flag on the field, but Matter's taking this one the distance to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and to the house. Touchdown Ruth Matter, but a flag thrown down towards the line of scrimmage on this left side of the Birmingham Lions line, and I just wonder if this might come back for holding.
Yeah, we'll see what happens when we get the replay up. But as you say, it was close to the line of scrimmage.
Holding.
So
Number 61 in the offence.
Yeah.
10 yards previous spot. It remains 1st down.
Betsy Maudsley, the one who is considered the offender there by Brian Yates and the officiating crew. Just trying to seal that edge on the left side.
yeah, if we just watch here on the replay.
It's just in that middle of your screen there.
Yeah.
There's the hold on the helmet, which the officials have seen.
And you could see as well the side of the shoulder pad come up, and that's when you know instantly that there's been a hold there. And that was how Ruth Matter managed to actually get around the outside, because it was on that exact side that Ruth came round and went up the sideline.
Yeah, if you run the side of holding, it's going to be spotted far easier than if it's on the backside of the run, that's for sure, as Matter sees the touchdown chalked off the board. And instead it's a 1st and 20 to start now for the Birmingham Lions as they retreat further back to the 36. Mayakar once again with a tight end on the left side of the line. They're going to bring Claire in motion. They're just going to hand it off up the centre. There's no room for Grace John though, who's met in the backfield and stopped for a loss.
It was almost like a counterplay that didn't quite go to plan. You saw her step out and then step back, but the hole wasn't there anymore, and unfortunately the ball was already partially getting handed off. But in that instance, you'd almost want your QB to pull it out and do that fake and the QB run it themselves. Yeah,
Counterproductive rather than anything else for the Birmingham Lions as they take a few steps back. Full credit there to, I think it was Abby Wade getting in on the tackle in the backfield. The Thrashers defense looks to try and stall the Lions once again. 2nd and 22 coming up for Birmingham. It's a bad snap as well over the head of Mayakar. They're going to have to pounce on, and it's stuffed as Georgia Teague is there to make sure that there's no opportunity to collect the ball and try and regain some yards. It was important that Catherine Stanley was there to collect the loose ball as Birmingham going backwards once again.
I would say Birmingham need a miracle to get out of this, but they've got Ruth Matter, so anything could happen.
Yeah, we've just seen her take one over 50 yards to the house. If she can break one, it gets them out of jail. If she can't, though, it is 3rd and almost a mile at this point. Ball spotted at the 20-yard line in Birmingham territory for the fresh set of downs. They're going to need to get to the 44 in the Thrashers side of the field. Receivers bunched in close to the line as it may just be safety first from Birmingham with a run play. Mayaka takes the snap. It's a high one again. They give it on the pitch on the jet sweep, but it goes nowhere. Stopped at the line of scrimmage as the Thrashers defence comes up trumps once more. And again, it's Abby Wade who's a key in there on the stop, along with Georgia Teague.
Yeah, Sophia Clare there really reaching to try and get those extra yards because they're quite a way down the field right now, so those extra yards are needed.
So we get to the 2-minute warning. Yeah, Sophia Clare, I
That is
imagine
a
Wayne
2-minute
Hill will be
warning.
saying,
There's 2 minutes left in the first half.
I imagine that Wayne Hill will be saying that maybe don't stretch out for the extra yard to make it a 33 or 32 on 4th down, but ball safety is paramount. Importantly for the Thrashers, ball stopping right now is the big one against this Birmingham Lions offence as they come out in pump formation. Ruth Matter will be the one to take the snap at her own 10-yard line. Tuva Strom is the one there to collect the punt, although she should likely just step away from this. There's no need to do that. Ball's a live ball suddenly as Ollie Davies jumps on it. If Birmingham have got this is a huge mistake from the Thrashers special teams unit. They're still fighting for it as well. It looks like the Birmingham Lions players come away with it. That's a Birmingham ball. That is just situational awareness and a complete lapse of it from Tuva Strom, who decided, instead of leaving the punt to lie dead, walk over, put her hand on it to try and pick it up, and it's given the Birmingham Lions the opportunity then to compete for the football.
Yeah, if we watch the replay here, it's such a lack of awareness.
Don't reach out and touch it, and she does. And Davis does exactly what she should do. As soon as the hand's on the ball from the Thrashers, it's a live ball.
You've got experience versus a team that are in the playoff for in the championship final for the first time, and in that you do not want to give them an inch.
Tuva Strom is having a long conversation down there with the coaches on the sideline as Birmingham get a real lucky break. There's no lucky break though for Grace John as she's stuffed down in the backfield.
Yeah, great tackle there by Georgia Teague, and once again pushing back the Lions, as we saw in the last drive, then pushed back so much. Yeah, I don't think that Solent would be very happy about that punt in terms of, to get away.
Yeah, it's that just little bit of know-how and not letting the final and the excitement get into your head. And yeah, that will frustrate Tuva Strom for sure, who's still down on the sideline having a chat with some of the coaches as Birmingham come out on a 2nd and 15 after the stop for a loss of Grace John. Send the player in motion in Clare once again. They're going to try the QB keeper out on that right side for Mayaka, who keeps on going. She's got green lights in front of her, flags on the field down towards the line of scrimmage as Mayaka is brought down at the 21-yard line.
Yeah, great tackle there made by Emily Rodriguez, somebody we've already talked about. But we'll see what these flags are for, because they went flying the moment that
Holding. Number 11 on the offence, 10 yards from spot the foul, 2nd down.
There you go, another holding penalty there against the Lions.
Yeah, Laura Stevens, it was on that side of the field, as we can have a look here. Mayaka taking the snap, and it's that design QB keeper just bouncing it off to that right sideline of the Lions attack. Can't see the hold coming in. I mean, great grit and determination on her run down the sideline. Even better, as you mentioned there, Tess, the Emily Rodriguez tackle, making sure never giving up on the play. Such a big, important thing that coaches stress time and time again, that anything can happen if you make that tackle. And the flag sent Birmingham backwards once more, and a 2nd and 20 coming up for the Lions. Mayaka running back alongside as she takes the snap, looks to go long downfield, sends it into the centre of the field, batted out of the hands of Sophia Clark. Great coverage again in that secondary from Anna McClure's defence, and celebrating with great gusto Mo Delaney down there.
Mo Delaney's really coming into her own, isn't she? She's enjoying this, and that's the big thing. I think we've got music playing in the stadium as well, and something that I've seen on Solent's defence and their offence is anytime the music's playing, they're having a dance. They're actually enjoying this, even though they're down.
Timeout, Birmingham, their first 40 seconds left in the second quarter.
Birmingham take a timeout then with Under a minute to play in this second quarter, a third and long coming up, and it's maybe a question just to have for Wayne Hill of whether you try and consolidate with the run. Do you fancy yourself to try and take a shot downfield and keep this drive going and get some points on the board? If Birmingham score before halftime, that's a big swing of momentum once again.
Yeah, they get the ball. They get the ball in the second half. So when you actually look at that, if you get that touchdown before the half, and then on top of that, you know you're getting the ball, that's an instant, potentially 2 touchdowns like happening straight after the other. That's a massive momentum swing. But the big thing that Birmingham have to think about is their snaps have not been in their favour for the last 2 set of drives. So actually, are they wanting to try and keep it safe, and are they going to be looking at another route to take?
Yeah, it's certainly been interesting, the connection between centre and quarterback for Birmingham in the last few drives. As the Thrashers' defence intensity has gone up, the quality of the snaps have just been lacking slightly from Alexandria Martin back to Raina Mayaka. And she takes a snap this time, still has to jump slightly, and there's room off the edge for Sophia Clare, who's got her skates on. This one could be going to the house unless Rodriguez can catch her. She's not going to get near her. Sophia Clare, the Kabaddi Queen, makes her way into the end zone for a touchdown, and Birmingham get that score on the board late on.
Yeah, if we see the snap there, it was completely different to how it's been going so far for them recently, and so I think actually taking that break gave them a bit of composure, allowed them all to just have a break and just get a breather in to be able to make sure that they each did their jobs to get that touchdown, because it's what's been coming. We've seen it already, it's just been the flags that have been stopping them.
No flags flying on that one as Birmingham set up for the 2-point conversion. It's going to feel like a body blow for the Thrashers that who were just starting to find a foothold back in this game and just starting to establish themselves as a run-stopping force against that Birmingham Lions attack. But on the jet sweep for the receiver, a huge score that can be added to with this 2-point conversion. Stanley goes in motion. They're going to give the handoff to Matter, who stops short of the end zone, and it's a 2-point conversion that doesn't happen for the Birmingham Lions once again. 20-6 with 26 seconds to play here in the first half of the NWFL National Championship game. And the Birmingham Lions have been able to break some big plays like this, and it's one of the reasons why they've got their healthy advantage of 14 points.
Yeah, if we watch on the replay, it's truly the run game that is working for them every single time, but it's also the blocks that each player is able to put in to ensure that that player can get down the sideline and have clear field. It's a very simple move, and we see this a lot in women's American football in particular. A lot of the running backs, even when running backs are going to be the wide receivers and they're taking the ball on a motion or something, they're always looking for the sideline because there is so much space, because the personnel are so compact in how they're setting up. It's not like what we saw in the under-19s game earlier, where they're actually spread across the field and there's not actually as much space for them to dominate.
Yeah, it was the pull of Catherine Stanley as well, the number 25, just setting up again that edge that allows Sophia Clark to make that bounce off that left side and suddenly have open space in front of her. It's something that's just hindered the Thrashers on a couple of occasions, and when they've broken it, Birmingham, they've broken it big throughout this first half, as the last few seconds will fall to the Thrashers offense to try and do something, as the kick is taken by Delaney. As she got a route to try and steal a few more extra yards away, she tries to stiff arm on Jules Robinson, but she's brought down at the 30-yard line as Birmingham swarm on special teams. And 70 yards to go in 17 seconds for the Thrashers offense late on in this first half.
Yeah, if the Thrashers want to make something of this drive in particular, they're going to want to get to the sideline to ensure that they can actually keep their drives going, else they've pretty much got one play left to make something of this half.
There's a couple of timeouts, I think, still in the bag for the Thrashers, whether Anna McClure gets the opportunity to use them or not, and depends on the tack that they go for as well, of either keeping the ball on the deck or taking that aerial route, which they do pride themselves on having a good aerial attack. 60-40 bias, I've been told, that the Thrashers run on their offense throughout the season.
It looks like a timeout's just been taken.
Second timeout, Birmingham. 15 seconds. First half.
Wayne Hill again just taking a timeout on that sideline and maybe wanting to look over something on the sideline. You can see he's deep in conversation on that side of the field with Dee Kennelwell. She slots into the middle linebacker position. 4 linemen looking to bring the pressure for the Birmingham Lions, as Curry, with 2 running backs either side of her, takes the snap, finds a gap, forced inside though, which doesn't give her room to bounce it off that left side of the field. It will be 2nd and short coming up for the Thrashers. 9 seconds to go, and I think a timeout has been called on the Thrashers sideline.
Timeout. Solent, 7 seconds left. Quarter number 2.
It's what you save your timeouts for, isn't it? You save them up for moments like this where you've got a few seconds left on the clock and you just need to make another play. So it's good that they've actually been able to do that, to make sure that they can take their offense off to the side, but also to stop the clock, because we know that Curry was down on field.
Is it hopeful maybe and slightly too optimistic to hope that Curry can break one for, well, what would be around about a 66-yard touchdown if she can find one? It's asking a lot on the ground.
It is, but if they come out in that 2 backfield lineup like what we've been seeing, I can't see why they wouldn't be trying for the touchdown, but especially getting either one of them or trying to do that trick play again that they managed to execute so well, or some sort of trickery so that they're able to actually get around and hopefully get further down the field to give them some momentum and some hope going into the second half.
Yeah, there's still certainly some hope there for Solent Thrashers from what we've seen as this first half has wore on, as Curry takes what will probably be the last snap of this half. She's going to look downfield and throwing a deep ball down towards the centre of the field. It falls short, though, of Tuva Strom, and that will put zeros on the timing clock and take us, it should be, to half-time here in the NWFL National Championship game. The Birmingham Lions 20-6 up, although I think they're saying there's a second on the clock. In fact, they're going to roll back and give the Thrashers one last chance to go long. I imagine it's going to be more of the same. As Curry gets set to take the snap. 3rd and short, but it's not about the short distance. It's about going for it all at this point. Birmingham dropped plenty into the secondary. Curry's got time and the chance to throw long, and it's in and out of the hands, unfortunately, of Tuva Strom, who was battling for it with Ollie Davies, who's been excellent in that secondary for Birmingham this afternoon so far. She's had big hits and big stops through the air, and that will take us to half-time then in the championship game. Birmingham with a 14-point advantage. It's a 2-score game, 20-6. The Birmingham Lions, defending champions, taking on the Solent Thrashers. But do not think that the side from the south have given up hope just yet, particularly when the ball is in the hands of Ailey Curry right now. She's been a thorn in the Birmingham side, and that defence has grown in its run stoppability as the half has wore on. There is still, as the great Kevin Cadell would say, a ball game to be had in this one.
There is definitely still a ball game to be had. I think we've got a whole second half. We really saw the Thrashers coming into their own in crucial parts of that first half, and I can really see that starting to happen towards the end of the second quarter, especially them using trying to get the ball in the air a bit more, trying to get Curry passing a bit more, because she has had to run a hell of a lot.
Yeah, it's been a hard graft for the Thrashers quarterback down there on the field, as she's having a word with Adam McClure over on that far sideline that is bathed in sunshine, and the sun shining bright almost into our eyes here at the back of the XL Motors stand here at Butts Park Arena. So we can take a look at the best of the action from that opening half, and the Birmingham Lions starting brightly. Raina Mayakar has just had to hand the ball off to the big beasts in the backfield in Grace John and Ruth Matter. Grace John able to work her way in for the opening score of the game after the Thrashers had a positive opening drive that got to midfield but stalled short. Birmingham happy to punish them. They were happy to do it again when Ruth Matter found some escapability in the backfield. That's just one tackle away from being perfect for the Thrashers, but Matter taking it down the sideline to the house on the big run. So Birmingham set the tone early with that ground game, and we thought it could potentially be a whitewash, but Ailey Curry deciding to use her legs out of the quarterback position for the Thrashers, waiting and waiting, keeping that ball nice and high a few moments there, just trying to keep the pass alive. And then Curry with blocks downfield as well, with some hard-nosed running to say the least, to give the Thrashers some momentum on offense. She's taken a fair few blows and been able to evade some of the worst of the contact. She couldn't get away from this kill shot, though, from Jules Robinson, who lined her up in the headlights like the poor deer that Curry has been scampering around. But Her effectiveness on the ground has opened things up for others. Tuva Strom just on the jet and the fake option off to the left, seeing Strom take it to the right and then to the house to get the Thrashers on the board. The extra point would be no good for the Thrashers, however, and Birmingham would once again look to that ground game as the half wore on. The little pitch to Sophia Clark opening up the chance for her to start working her magic on the jet, and it actually opened up for Clark on this one thanks to the edge being set. They set the tone with that and started to use the receiver in that running game, and nothing that Rodriguez could do to keep her out of the end zone just to bolster that Birmingham advantage. So a 20-6 lead at half-time for the Birmingham Lions, looking to go back-to-back in the NWFL National Championship game. We'll have the second half and all of the action when we return. Welcome back as half-time is just starting to come to an end. There are some that are quite relaxed down there on the Birmingham sideline. It's a little easier if you're decked out in the mascot attire, although wearing the number 83 of Sadie Griffiths as well. So I'm just wondering if she's actually decided to make a costume change for the afternoon and is tucked up. Nice and warm in there as well, as the cloud cover's just starting to creep in and day is starting to turn to night here at Butts Park Arena in Coventry for the NWFL National Championship game. The floodlights are on and we're going to get the excitement of a near nighttime finish to this championship game that certainly has us on tenterhooks at half-time. A 20-6 lead for Birmingham, and Wayne Hill as he has a discussion with his ladies for the last time before they get set to take battle once again. It has been tougher than many predicted, particularly after the first couple of drives for each team. The Solent Thrashers getting the ball moving towards midfield twice before being stalled, and a couple of silly errors that have taken place as well, both on that offence and defence for Solent, that have just allowed this game to start to escape away from them slightly. But Adam McClure has had a chance to regroup with his team at half-time, and we'll see what adjustments get made to get this team back into this one as he has a chat with Lou Robbins down there. And the Birmingham Lions will take possession to start this half with their 14-point lead. We can get this second half underway, and this is an important first drive for the Birmingham Lions to see if they can extend their advantage to a 3-score game. Natasha Crump alongside myself, Oliver Wilson in the broadcast booth. It's going to be collected by Ollie Davis, and she's going to allow herself to pick it up at the 16-yard line and take it back inside to the centre of the field. There might be a gap up the centre if she can start to turn it upfield, and she makes two tacklers miss up towards the 45-yard line, brought down to the 46. An important tackle though as Davis was getting moving, just finding that seam up the centre, and Birmingham have great field position to start this drive.
Yeah, that was really well read there by Davies, because I think she thought that the ball was actually going to bounce towards her. It stopped a bit short, and she did really well to pick that up and make that transition to more the centre of the field, because all of the Thrashers had flooded towards this side thinking that she was going to run straight up the sideline. And I actually think it was Curry there with the tackle. So not only is she...
Offence, defence, special teams.
Everything.
The Solent Thrashers runs through Ailey Curry. She's on the sideline for the moment though, as that defence comes out for the Thrashers, trying to stop Ryan Amayaka and that Birmingham offence as they come out of the gun once again. 1st and 10 from their own 46. The handoff up the middle as Mata tries to make as many misses as possible. She gets herself back to the line of scrimmage and no more than that. Tash, it has to be said, and it can't be underestimated what a score for Birmingham right now on this opening drive of the second half would do for them.
Yeah, if they manage to get down the field again, I think that Solent really need to change up their game plan. Similar to what we were saying in the first quarter, where they just had the one score against them and it was odd, do they need to change their game plan now? No, stick to the game plan. But when you're into the second half, you're into the third quarter, it's the clock's counting down, you're down by 2 scores, you need to do something. If you then go down by a third, that is a game-changing time, and you need to really start to revisit what you're doing and how you need to change it.
Players taking a knee just down there on the field because Mariette Hughes is the Birmingham Lion who's still down on the field on the left hash marks at the 45-yard line as the athletics trainers and coaches go across to look on her. She hasn't moved too much since going down, but we'll try not to read too much into it until we get the official word from the Birmingham sideline and from those that are present and far more closer to what's going on, as it's a chance again for the Birmingham Lions just to set up and walk out what they're going to do on this 2nd down and 10 that will be coming up, as Thrashers as well, as we can see on the sideline. I know you're focused on Birmingham right now on your screens, but it's very interesting that Catherine Dale is sat on her own for the last 5 minutes or so just on the sideline for the Thrashers. She's been joined suddenly by Sophie Hemmings, but Dale has been down there and just taking an isolated figure. As we can take a look at how we got to this point, a 20-6 advantage for the Birmingham Lions right now, all started by the powerful running of Grace John, able to bundle her way into the end zone for the touchdown to kick things off. Birmingham on the ground early and off the mark early, and they were helped out as well by their other star running back, Ruth Mata, with probably one of the plays of the game so far, not only making a defender miss in the backfield, but taking this one to the house. And the early celebration as well from the blocking contingent in Sophia Clare, able to help her running back get into the end zone. However, The Thrashers have come back into this, and all via the run game of Tuva Strom just on the jet. Able to make her way off that right edge and find a crease and a gap and space over on that right sideline to get the Thrashers into the end zone. Birmingham replied once again, however, with a jet of their own coming from Sophia Clare. She taking it down the left sideline despite the best efforts of Emily Rodriguez on the chase down. Birmingham would extend their advantage for 14 points at halftime. Celebrations from the half have been slightly muted though, as still down in the centre of the field is Hughes, just receiving some treatment. She is at least though sat up as the St John's ambulance crew that are always here at all of these games and do that such sterling work. I know, Tash, you're carrying an injury at the moment as well, but has to be said, the number of volunteers and personnel that are around these games so important, particularly when we get moments like this down there on the field.
Yeah, the amount of time I think that all of the helpers, volunteers, the coaches, because what we've got to remember is even the coaches are volunteers. Nobody gets paid in British American football to do what they're doing right now in this current game, and so I think it's a testament that there is so many people on hand to help, and also to keep, it's about keeping players on the sideline calm as well, because that's your teammate that's down, and so there'll be coaches on the side, there'll be your leaders, your captains, ensuring that everybody still has their game head on, so that when they are ready to get started again, they will be up and running.
What does this do potentially, as Hughes is still being looked over, for the chemistry of that Birmingham offensive line right now, who may need to find a replacement on that O-line just to continue to re-establish the run game, keep it how it's been for this? But when you're changing personnel on the defensive line, it's fresh legs. It gives you that positivity and that chance to attack. On offense, it's only a three-person line, but it is still that chemistry of everybody needing to work together and know their jobs and slot in with each other on that O-line.
Yeah, we know the roles and responsibility of the O-line is really crucial for them to actually understand what each other are doing, so that they can then split for the dive plays, whether they need to be pushing a player out, pulling a player in. And so you knowing your responsibility when you need to be swinging round, it's really important that you have a line that works well together. I'm pretty certain that Birmingham will have that backup, that will know exactly what they need to do and be able to fill Hughes's spot. But I think something that's really crucial is Mariette Hughes has been, as far as I'm aware, a player that's been quite crucial to this offensive line, and has been one of the key players in them actually being able to make some of those plays and those runs. And it's really great to see her up on her feet being helped off by, as you say, some of the ambulance crew.
Yeah, the St John's ambulance crew just helping her up to her feet, although stepping the first step a little gingerly, it has to be said, for the number 74. Hughes is going to limp away with support, and hopefully it's not a major injury, but it's certainly one that looks like for the moment it'll be keeping her out of this one, as Wayne Hill heads his way back to the sideline, and there's a ripple of applause and cheers for her, at least to see that she's up on her feet and able to move, all what gingerly, and a bit of support. Although some of the Birmingham staff are seeing the funny side of it down there as they walk with her. I need to ask you as well, Tash, about, we might come to it a little more often now with the Thrashers offence, but the missing personnel, a main person of that offence, Steph Wyant as well, who I hope is listening and watching to us, so we don't want to get too personal, and congratulations again to her. But is that such a big loss? Do you think they've managed to fill that void, or is that why Curry is shouldering a lot of the responsibility right now? Yeah,
when I was talking to Adam McClure in the pre-game interviews, he was highlighting about how important Curry is, but how important a few of their players are, as we've already highlighted, so Georgia Teague, Mo Delaney, people like that. But he said outright, Curry is a great player in terms of her being able to run the ball, etc. And so that will be really crucial in this for them.
So Birmingham come out 2nd and 10 then, with 11:20 to go in the second quarter. Handoff is to Mata once more. No matter how she tries though, she's stopped for just a 2-yard gain. Great penetration on that D-line once more. It's Sarah Jane Brain who is continuing to have a superb second and now third quarter in this ball game.
Yeah, Mata's been known for being able to bounce out to the sideline, and on that occasion just decided to go with the dive, but actually I think that her going towards the sideline has been paying her a lot more gold than what we've seen in the dive plays.
Mata staying alongside Mayaka. As Birmingham continue to come out of the gun, they send Claire in motion, they give it to Mata, who goes straight up the middle. She finds a bit more breathing room as third down becomes fourth, and it's going to be about a 4th and 5 for the Birmingham Lions, close to midfield. Interesting territory this. Do you think about going for it? It's a sizable 6 yards or so that Birmingham are going to have to get. It looks like that offense is staying out there on the field right now as Mata makes way in the backfield for Grace John.
Yeah.
Gutsy call from Wayne Hill this.
You'd be silly not to go for it in this sense. They're 2 scores up, but also we've seen them make more than 5-6 yards per run, so they'll know exactly what they're doing. But also, if they hand the ball over to Thrashers here, it's not the worst in terms of field positioning.
Wayne Hill backing that offensive line right now. Maya Carr comes out of the gun. It's a big 4th down this for the Thrashers. They try to bring penetration. Maya Carr's going to bounce it out to the right. She only needs to get around about 5 or 4 yards as Rodriguez tries to bring her down before the line of scrimmage and maybe getting a 2-3 yard gain in the end. The quarterback Maya Carr. That's not going to be enough for a fresh set of downs, and the Thrashers will take over.
It's great tracking there by Rodriguez. If you watch her, she doesn't dive in too soon, and that's what you want as a DB. You want somebody that can track the player, that stops them from going upfield and can either push them towards the sideline or make the tackle to stop them getting the yardage.
Rodriguez is just hopping away on that far side of the field after making that all-important tackle. They will not want to lose her because she has been the last line of defence on a number of occasions as the Thrashers take over for the first time then on offence in this second half, trailing by 14 with 9:39 to go in the third quarter. 3 running backs alongside Curry. She takes the snap, hands it off into the backfield. There's nowhere to go though. Elsie Wood is brought down behind the line of scrimmage, and it's Sarah Leighton who's there once again. When you get the excitement of getting the ball back, you have a play for negative yards and 6 of those being added on to make it a 2nd and 16 here for the Thrashers offense.
You can tell they're really trying to protect Curry right now.
Once again, there's almost that guard force of 3 running backs alongside her as they fake the handoff. Curry's going to try and bounce it left. There's nowhere to go though. Great penetration again on that right side of the Birmingham line. Curry's going to do well to try and get back to the line of scrimmage, which maybe she just about did, but little more than that as a 3rd and long is going to be coming up.
Yeah, the fake play not quite taking out the players needed in that play to actually get everybody to move over to where Curry wanted to go. And I think that the moment that breaks down, you're in no man's land because you've got no players blocking for you and helping you on that side.
Yeah, Beth Watkins and Alex Caldecott just on that right side of the Birmingham defence, able to keep Curry pinned in there as they go on the ground once again. The Thrashers, they get up to the original line of scrimmage with the handoff to Wood, and it's a 4th down coming up for the Thrashers. So likely to be a 3 and out here for Solent to start this second half, unless they fancy the all guts, all glory approach here on 4th and 10.
I was going to say it'd be interesting to see if they're going to go for it, but it looks like they are going to be lining up in their punt formation.
Yeah, it would be quite a gutsy call at this point in the game. It's still a 2-score game, of course, and the Thrashers inside their own territory. There's no need to push the pedal too close to the metal right now as they set up in punt formation. Davis is back there to return at her own 25-yard line. It's not the best snap. Curry maybe thought about it for a second. The punt is blocked, and that's going to bounce down at the 45-yard line. Birmingham look to pounce on it. Birmingham get excellent field position after that as Curry maybe just a little slow to find that pocket of space to boot it downfield, and Birmingham collect the block punt and take over in enemy territory.
Yeah, Beth Watkins there with grounding the ball, which, as you say, great field position for them and pretty much starting where Solent left off, which isn't great for Solent and what we know Birmingham can do. I think that, as you say, Curry right there just left it a little bit too late. I think had that composure but didn't realise that she didn't have as much time as what she envisioned.
Yeah, that Birmingham line getting into the backfield on special teams like it has done so far to start this second half. Obviously, injection of something from Wayne Hill at half-time to that D-line right now as the Birmingham offence come out for their second drive of the half, and look once again to extend their advantage beyond the 2-score game that they have at the moment. Maikar's out of the picture at the moment as it's a different body under centre, as it's Jessica Thomas who gives the handoff, brought in for the first time in this game. A short yardage gain on the ground of maybe 4 yards or so from Grace John taking the handoff. Change of personnel on offence then, as Thomas is staying out there. Very experienced quarterback for sure, very good as a all-round QB, maybe arguably the better arm of the Birmingham quarterbacks right now, although the manoeuvrability and mobility of Maikar from her flag football background has given her the edge in terms of starting. Thomas coming out of the gun, 2 receivers left, running back alongside her, and John snaps over her head as there's a poor snap, and it's not bounced on just yet by John, and if Solent got that, it looks like the Thrashers are going to come up with it as Sarah Jane Brain able to jump on the loose ball. It was just a little lax from Grace John in reacting to the situation and pouncing on the ball with all of that body covering it. And that D-line of the Thrashers comes up trumps, and it's of course one of their captains and leaders that makes the big play.
Yeah, as a running back in that situation, you really want to be turning, running and jumping onto that ball. You don't want to just go down. You want to make sure that you've got your whole body on it, closing your legs, because in that situation there, Grace John, as she jumped on the ball, it went straight through her legs, which then allowed the Thrashers to jump on.
Thrashers get a lifeline once again at the start of this second half. Curry takes it, screen out to that left side, and it's well brought in by Tuva Strom, who's making bodies miss. Strom down the left sideline. Strom's taking it into the house. We've got a game on our hands in the National Championship. It's a second TD for Tuva Strom. 1 on the ground, 1 through the air, and the wide receiver screen ends in 6 for the Thrashers.
That's exactly what the Thrashers have been waiting for in terms of those passing plays. We highlighted in, I think it was the first or the second quarter, they kept turning around and going, we can't see the suns in our eyes. That sun is now gone. All that we have now is under the lights, and they are thriving off of this in terms of what they're able to do in the air.
Curry is going to lead the 2-point conversion, and she takes the snap, tries to bounce to the left sideline. It's a foot race to the end zone, and Curry making bodies miss again and reaching out, and it's in. 2-point conversion is good, and the Thrashers are back in this and trailing only by 6. That is the extra effort that we've seen all evening long so far from Curry, coming out of the gun, bouncing it off to the left, and that handout ensuring she comes away with the 2-point conversion. 14-20. Birmingham Lions still lead.
It's exactly what the Thrashers have needed, I think, in terms of that momentum. They wanted that break. But if you watch this replay here, here's how it folded out. It was on that screenplay, being able to get those blocks in to enable time for Tuva Strom, who we've talked about so much in this game, but also she has so much power, as we can see, breaking those tackles, because she was held, and she was held for long, and so being able to then get down the field was really important, and she really used her strength and her running strength in that.
Savannah McSevney with the key block on the outside to release the receiver downfield, and once she found some open space, she just made things happen herself as Curry gets set to boom this one away. Holly Davis is waiting on the left side of the Birmingham special teams, and it's straight to her, well taken and fielded at the 21-yard line, and they're going to give the handoff. They do this time to Clark, who breaks it off the left side, and suddenly Birmingham looking to get into the midfield and brought down at the 50-yard line by Curry on the tackle. But it's that little reverse that you were highlighting, Tash, early on special teams that opened up the space for the Kabaddi Queen.
The Birmingham Lions love a reverse on kickoff. If you go back and watch the 2024 Britbowl highlights from the game against the Birmingham Lions against the London Warriors last year, every single kickoff was a reverse, and if they didn't hand the ball off, they still at least made it look like and used the fake to ensure that the Warriors team were all going to one side or the other, and it then allows for that sideline from whichever the ball is now going towards to be able to actually go straight up, and they actually got so many touchdowns just on those kickoffs.
I mean, it requires the patience and vision, as Sophia Clark is just down on the field, or at least back on her feet now after just being on her haunches slightly, but it requires the patience of Davis to work out whether she's going to give it or not, if the space is opening up, and if those Thrashers' bodies are getting pulled to that opposite side of the field, to then suddenly release Clark off this left side of the Birmingham attack, and my goodness, she made great headway once she was given that opportunity, taking the ball up to the 49-yard line, which is where Birmingham will start with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter in what is now a 6-point ball game. Slow start for the Birmingham offense so far in this second half. Thomas is to take the snap out of the gun once again. They bring a player in motion and then just hand it off instead straight up the middle for Grace John, who again finds more room than perhaps the Thrashers defense would have wanted as she's brought down at the 40-yard line and a first down.
Emily Rodriguez there with the key tackle, again being the last line of defence, doing her job, making that tackle to stop the Lions from getting any further down the field, even though they have got the first down.
Lions not exactly fast out of the huddle, which is a change of pace to what we've seen from, well, the whole of the day, including that under-19 national championship game between the Edinburgh Napier Knights and the London Blitz that we had earlier, exciting the fans here in Coventry. And eventually now the Lions break with Thomas once again looking to take the snap. John alongside her. 3 receivers right. And coming in motion, flags fly as the Thrashers maybe just took a step too early as Thomas is stopped in the backfield, but I imagine this is going to be either encroachment or a false start on Birmingham.
Offside, defence, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, you saw those black and gold lids just itching to get off the ball on that, and a slightly early step gives Birmingham a free 5-yard gain.
Unfortunately, they were trying to do what Birmingham's been perfecting all game and tried to get that head start and really put that blitz and that pressure on, but it just didn't come up trumps for Solent.
Thomas has receivers spread out to the right. It's that motion again from Birmingham that's been highly effective. They hand it off to Mata, who evades the tackle in the backfield and is able to find room up the left sideline. Mata makes 2, miss again. Crunched down outside of bounds by Mo Delaney, coming in across to make the all-important tackle. Get the feeling Delaney enjoyed that one, but it is a fresh set of downs for Birmingham.
It is, but that was one hell of a tackle from Delaney. I almost heard the pads through the headphones clanging. If we watch this, unfortunately a missed tackle there, and then Sarah Jane Brown that we've been talking about so much, but Maz Hughes and Mo Delaney, I'm trying to say about Hughes, who's off on the sideline.
It's been a long day.
Mo Delaney coming up there with an absolutely battering tackle.
I think you've been on call since about 9 o'clock this morning, Tash, so we'll forgive you, don't worry.
Thank
It's
you.
been a long
the
day.
Coffee's worn off.
The sun starts to set here in Coventry, and a fight under the lights for Birmingham and the Solent Thrashers here, as once again a fresh set of downs for Jessica Thomas on this drive. 1st and 10, Birmingham starting to knock on the door. Flags fly as Thomas keeps it, breaks it off to the left side, sticks a hand out as well, but wrestled down to the ground by Delaney, who's got tails up for sure and a little bit of swagger as she steps away from that tackle, as we'll go down and check what the flag on the field is for.
Illegal formation. Offence. Too many players in the backfield. That's a 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
5-yard backs, Birmingham go once again to once more hinder themselves slightly on offence. Fairly self-explanatory for those new to American football, the illegal formation. As they come out on a 1st and 15 then. March back to the 20-yard line. Give the handoff in the backfield. It's going nowhere though, as Teague is in there to bring down John.
Yeah, Georgia Teague, somebody that we've talked about so much in this game, but is really come into her own, I think, on the defensive side, because we've actually spoken about her, I think, a bit more on the offensive side, which is making those blocks for Curry. And so it's been great to see her now being able to break through and get some tackles in the backfield.
Yeah, 9 on 9 playing both ways. She's got gas for days, but even this championship game might be draining her slightly if she's playing both sides of the ball for all 4 quarters. Birmingham come out once again. 2nd and 20 after the 5-yard loss on the play. Thomas. It's a whiff snap, but that's going to work out for Birmingham, at least in terms of the recovery. Now can they find some yardage on the left sideline, as that feels a little hard justice, as Catherine Stanley able to collect the snap that went over the head of Thomas and take it down that left side of the field for Birmingham to keep that drive going, and a healthy, sizable chunk of yardage coming back after that.
Again, Birmingham coming through with the luck. They've come through with the luck a few times on those high snaps, the fumbles. Countless times they've been able to jump on some of their mistakes that they've made, and Solent just falling short of that luck this time. But yeah, fell into the hands and managed to make the yards from it.
3rd and 16 still to come though, as Mayakar comes back in at quarterback. Interesting to see that Thomas has gone out after a couple of dodgy snaps, which you'd hardly blame her for. They were straight over her head. But they go back with the number 1 QB, who wears the number 1 jersey. Not that you can see it with that hair draped over it. She's able to take the snap. Another poor one. Ball comes out. Can the Thrashers jump on it here? It's going to be Matter battling for it for Birmingham, but it looks like it's been pounced on by Abby Wade, who comes away with it from the pile, and the Thrashers have another turnover in this second half.
I love how much the Thrashers are just enjoying themselves, and you can see it from the little celebrations all the way through to the small dance moves that they're doing while waiting for the snap to go. I think that seeing that, it was just go, 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 get on the ball, have a bit of luck in your favour for once.
Never got it really down into her hands, did Mayakar, as she's staying down on the field at the moment. It's Tuva Strom. I mean, there are some names that keep coming up time and time again for the Thrashers right now. Strom into the backfield, causing the fumble. Pounced upon by Abby Wade.
It was actually so unlucky there for Matter, because Matter managed to jump onto the ball, but actually, as you say, it was Wade there who managed to get underneath and pull the ball out, because Matter did not have control. If you don't have control, it doesn't matter if you're lying on top of it, that's not your ball.
Now I'm going to hope that was an intentional pun there from you, Tash, that it doesn't matter whether you matter or not on top of it. If you get the leverage and can rip it out from your opponent in those dog pile, then you're going to come away with it, and that's what the Thrashers have done right now. Raina Mayakar is just still down there on the field receiving some treatment after that hit and that blown play for Birmingham that once again just swings momentum back in the Thrashers' favour. I mean, they didn't go away, of course, against Birmingham. It was a real ding-dong shootout, 37-24, when these two teams met in the regular season. It was the last game for the Solent in their regular season. 3-3 their record, as we said, and the 5th game for Birmingham that was a rather flat end to the season, with 2 losses in 2 going into the playoffs. That definitely raised the eyebrows as Mayakar, the quarterback, is being carried off there. Again, there's a few smiles from the Birmingham technical staff, and time to strike a pose as well, but you certainly hope that she's going to be able to continue in this game, both for Birmingham's sake and her own. In the meantime, the Thrashers come out then, 1st and 10 in their own territory with 2 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. Handoff up the middle. It's around about a 4 or 5 yard gain for the Thrashers as they get the ball moving in the hands of Wood.
Yeah, the momentum there is right now in the Thrashers' favour, and they really need to use this now to keep pushing up the field. We saw Mayakar there with a smile on her face. She was being carried off, so we hope that it's nothing too serious and she's able to make a comeback.
Oh, it's a fumble from the Thrashers. It bounces out. Birmingham are going to bounce on this one. It's going to be a turnover for the Lions. A miscommunication and an error in the handoff between Curry and Wood. And just as the Thrashers, and just as you were saying, Natasha, that they need to pounce on this momentum, they give it all straight back to the Lions, quick as a flash.
Yeah, maybe that was the commentator's curse there, and I spoke too soon. But hopefully they'll be able to take something back. But I think that with that, the Lions did really well to notice the mistake that the Thrashers had made. But also, that isn't the first time that the Thrashers made the mistake. So if you watch that, unfortunately, it just comes out from under Wood, and it's just a bit too low. It wasn't into the belly, and that's where, as a running back, you want it. You want it in your belly so that you can properly clamp down, and it just wasn't able to be.
Alex Caldicott, I think it was, jumping on it for Birmingham as they come out with Mayakar on the sideline, and Thomas once again takes up her position out of the gun, bringing Stanley in motion from left to right. They hand it off as Matter is brought down in the backfield, and a flag on the play on this Birmingham left in front of the Thrashers sideline. looked like Birmingham maybe jumped. Although we'll check if it was the...
Illegal snap on the centre, a double snap, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, another mistake on that O-line for Birmingham. Haven't said that too many times there. A couple of slight mental errors, including the double snap. Just can't move it, can you?
No, you can't move it at all. It's that whole thing about being on the offense, you can't move a muscle. And especially in that centre position, you just need to be able to get that ball off. I've been a centre and flag. It's not easy, but you've got to do it.
Birmingham come out of the gun once more. Flags, or whistles blow, in fact, as it's going to be a timeout for Birmingham, it looks like.
Timeout. Birmingham, they're first. 1 minute, 3 seconds, corner number 3.
Wayne Hill just wanting to change something on that sideline once again. First of 3 for the Lions taken in this second half, and it's definitely gone what you feel against Birmingham just in this last 2 quarters, basically, this third quarter. That established dominance that we thought was set, it's pulled away, and how difficult is it to re-establish that once again if you feel it slipping away?
I think that's what they're doing right now. If you go back to the first half, and they took a timeout and they came back out and they scored a touchdown straight after that timeout. They need to sometimes regroup. I mean, let's hope they don't regroup, but you know, let's regroup and get ourselves back into the game, and hopefully that's what they're doing right now. To be able to get some of that, as you say, momentum back, a bit more flow, but also we saw the snap after that timeout last time be a lot more settled and a lot straighter, and hopefully that's what they're doing, and they're just giving that line a bit of a second just to get their composure back.
It's the one thing that sent a few wobbles through this Birmingham team over the last quarter and a half or so. Just the 5 yards from centre to quarterback on that offense. Stanley goes in motion once again. They give her it on the jet. She makes her way up the Birmingham right sideline, brought down round about the line of scrimmage. It's a 2nd and long coming up round about 2nd and 15 for Birmingham. The Thrashers defence just trying, doing whatever they can to prevent Birmingham from getting that ball moving and this game running away back in their favour.
Yeah, Mo Delaney there again, coming away with the moves, ensuring that she's the one getting to the ball, getting to the player and making the tackle. But it's the way that she comes away. As you say, she's just got so much swag and she's enjoying it so much.
There's a few contenders for MVP out there on the Thrashers defence, let alone the Birmingham offence that has been dormant suddenly for the last few drives as the last few seconds tick away on this third quarter. It's another muff handoff in the backfield. Has that gone straight into the arms of Teague? Teague fighting for it down there. The ruling from the officials is going to be a Thrashers ball. Solent are going to come away with it, and right on the turn of the fourth quarter, they're going to take possession in the Birmingham territory after another fumble on the handoff, that time into the arms of Sophia Clare. And the Thrashers defence bounce on it.
Yet another name that we've talked about so many times, Georgia Teague. If we just watch here, it's again a bit of a messy handoff, and yeah, Georgia Teague easily there, literally getting herself so heavily around the ball to make sure that no one else can get it. The Lions tried, but yeah, it was all hers.
What time for one last play in the third for the Thrashers. Again, it's those 3 running backs alongside Curry as they throw the screen once again into the hands of Strom. And what can she do? She's going to break another one and carry 4 or 5 Lions with her. She might be the lioness of the pride right there, because they were all following in suit and dragging in her wake. As another wide receiver screen pays off for the Thrashers, and they get moving down towards the red zone as we come to the end of the third quarter.
I think we need to change her surname. It's not Strom, she's Strong.
She's definitely that. I mean, breaking as many tackles as she could, and was given very little of feed off initially right there, but the Lions looking more like cubs as they were bowled over by the strong wide receiver of Strom. And the Thrashers are in a perfect position to try and perhaps tie this game up. And there is the potential as well to take some shots if they want to. We've not seen Curry using her legs as much so far. They've been using the running backs and the versatile running backs in that wide receiver screen on the last few drives for the Thrashers. They try to mix things up slightly, and Birmingham's defence is having to read and react and change itself to be able to accommodate that.
Yeah, at half-time, they've clearly had the discussion saying that if we continuously keep using Curry, there's going to be nothing left in her by the end of this game, which means then you leave yourself open to Birmingham scoring even more. And so actually them now utilising some of these additional plays and additional players to really start to make the plays, it's so important, and I think it's really working in their favour.
Start of the fourth quarter, 6-point ball game. Lions lead the Thrashers in the NWFL Championship game. Handoff for Wood, goes forward for maybe 2 yards or so, and a 2nd and 8 coming up as we get to the 25-yard line in Birmingham territory for Solent.
And I don't think that's a bad play. They've only made 1-2 yards, and so they've made a yard, and so actually that's something that they've made some progress, but now it's about actually can you get the 3-4 yards off those drives.
Curry's going to keep this one and try and break it off to the right edge. No real blockers, but she'll make ladies miss instead as she forces her way forward up towards the 10-yard line or so. It's going to be just about enough for a fresh set of downs. A pickup of 9 on the play from Curry with the keeper.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. You want to hit them with the quick dive play that then kind of puts them a bit off guard, and then go round the outside because they're maybe expecting you to just constantly keep diving it and giving it to other people. You finally keep it for yourself. You go round the outside and you've got that first down.
Freya Avery had the chance of bringing her down just around the line of scrimmage, but couldn't be taken as Curry comes out. They give the little pitch toss into Georgia Teague, who tries to move it off that right side. She is dragged down to the deck, and it's the woman we just mentioned a moment ago, Avery, who made sure that this time she wasn't going to be beaten on the edge.
Yeah, it was well played by Avery there, just to track to the side. We know how we've seen Georgia Teague on both offense and defense and what she can do. And again, another strong player on the Thrashers team. So yeah, Avery did a really good job there in terms of being able to get her down.
Gain of maybe 3 yards or so, 2nd and around about 7 coming up as Curry looks for the gap as she tries to keep it as the fake handoff to Wood, and I wonder if she could have given it to Wood because Wood had a lane in front of her for a second, but Curry keeping it brought down in the backfield. That sends the Thrashers working their way back, and a 3rd and long coming up here on this all-important drive that could potentially tie things up with 10:20 to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, sun's back out again, maybe shining down on them, trying to get them to do a little bit of something here.
But Birmingham are such a tough unit to break down. Curry takes it, fakes the handoff to Wood, rolls out and then flings one high into the air. There's surely going to be some flags on that. There was a lot of contact from Davis. It looked like that's what the glance is to the near sideline from Catherine Dale and others in Thrashers jerseys, as Kirsty Greaves as well feels rather aggrieved that nothing was thrown. 4th down coming up. That looked like a lot of contact between receiver and coverage.
Yeah, quite surprising there. We talk about holding, like at least just putting a hand on, but that was a bit more than a hand. It was a bit of a push in to stop from going up.
Davis had her eyes on the prize in terms of the ball in the air, but certainly there was a lot of contact that was initiated by the Birmingham DB. Anyway, the Thrashers are going to come out on 4th down here, looking for it all. Curry working out where she's going to go with it. She hands it off. Oh, it's a beautiful switch over the right side to Tuva Strom into the end zone touchdown. It's a Tuva triple-header touchdown game, and the Thrashers pull things level in the fourth quarter, 20-20 with the extra point to come. And the trickery, patience and deception in the backfield working out. And we've also got a flag on the play.
I'm really hoping this is a touchdown. Oh, I'm really hoping this is a touchdown. Currently the Thrashers are really trying to get the call to make sure that it is a touchdown.
It's a
the celebrations have started.
Flag thrown against
Plus
Birmingham.
the foul, face mask, defence. That will be assessed on as kick-off. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Confirmation then of the Tuva Strom touchdown that gets us level in the Women's Championship game here in Coventry. Now we've got a barnstormer on our hands in this fourth quarter, and it requires a reaction for Birmingham. There's an extra point to come for Curry to kick through the upright. She's missed one already today. Danny Brain, the holder. Snap is okay, the hold is good, and the kick is straight down the middle. It's the first lead of the evening for the Solent Thrashers. The question is, can they hold on to it? The Cinderella story has more twists and turns in this championship game than perhaps any of us expected. And Birmingham, for the first time, have to come from behind. They have the quality, they have the time, but can they deliver on the biggest stage? This is one way to take the advantage. It's just such a deft little handoff to Strom, and every single blue shirt pretty much is rolling to their right, and so much space for the receiver to break into in the opposite direction. That's how you put 6 points on the board.
It had me completely tricked, and I'm sure it had the whole of Birmingham tricked. I wasn't even looking in that direction, so that was such a great play by the Thrashers. It had me so excited to see this game, and we really wanted a shootout game, and Thrashers have bought it in this second half. They really have.
The intensity has been turned up, no more so than on that Birmingham sideline just below our cameras, where everybody in a blue shirt that isn't on special teams pretty much is down there in discussion. The kickoff will take place from the 50-yard line after the personal foul on the touchdown, which will do nothing but try to pin Birmingham back even further to start what could be a game-defining drive, as the pressure is suddenly all heaped on that offense, and we'll work out if Raina Mayakar is going to be coming out to take snaps, the quarterback, or perhaps if it will be Jess Thomas.
It'll be really interesting to see what's going to happen here as well, because Ruth Matter is now in the backfield as one of the receivers. This is the same lineup they had against the Warriors last year on all of their kick returns.
Matter and Davies back to receive. It goes back to Davies, who takes it at the 9-yard line. Fakes the handoff to Matter. She'll keep it herself, trying to be tricky on this right side of the field as she finds more room, and an open field tackle by Curry. Again coming to the rescue on special teams, not for the first time this evening. Birmingham stopped down at around about the 40-yard line. It could have been a lot worse, though, for the Thrashers if Curry hadn't been there to make that tap tackle.
Yeah, we've said this quite a few times on these special team plays. It's been kind of Curry with the kick, Curry with the tackle, Curry with the pass, Curry with the handoff. I think that's how it's kind of going to go this game, is we're going to be saying a lot of things about Curry within the next few times. But this is a great run by Ollie Davis just there. You can see that she has that vision, but also similar to what you were saying earlier with the fact that we were talking about when to hand the ball off and when not to hand the ball off. And Davis in that moment was like, it's not time.
It's time, though, for Mayakar, back from the injury, back to take the snaps. Bringing once again Stanley in motion. They give the handoff up the middle. Grace John brought down, but not before a hefty chunk of yardage of about 4 yards or so to get Birmingham out of the blocks and moving with 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Back-to-back national championships on the line for the Lions right now. The pressure building on Wayne Hill and this Birmingham Lions offense in particular. They tend to rise to the occasion. We'll see if they can rise to this grandest of occasions for the season. Mayakar. Hand off to Matter. She's got blocks in front of her. They're disrupted once again, though. 2 in on the tackle for the Thrashers once again. Georgia Teague in the heart of a lot of things positive for Solent right now. Matter replaced in the backfield by Grace John for this 3rd and about 3.
It's similar to what we've been saying. These dive plays do work to get you 1 or 2 yards, but unfortunately they really want to be starting to go out to the outside and bouncing off.
Well, they look down the middle again. Mayakar takes the snap. They hand it off into the backfield as flags fly in on the tackle. Tuva Strom. As Grace John was brought down early.
False start. 61 offense. Remains 3rd down.
5-yard penalty, 3rd down coming up. Makes it a 3rd and 8 now for the Birmingham Lions. We might well be in 4th down territory in terms of just a way for Wayne Hill to get some momentum back into this team. It's a tense atmosphere suddenly around this arena. Mayaka coming out. Receivers to the left and right. Once again, motion for Stanley as they take the snap, give it to the running back, and Grace John trying to make her way up the field. Maybe just got enough on the dive through the centre to get a fresh set of downs, and the chain gang gets moving. Birmingham break at midfield then. 1st and 10. Time continuing to tick. Two receivers right, running back right, tight end in on the left side of the line as well. Flags fly once again. Every single Thrasher is pointing to the Birmingham backfield.
False start. 72 offence. It remains first down.
Sarah Leighton and the one called for the false start. Playing both sides of the ball once again, Leighton. 1st and 15. The Thrashers sideline is buoyant, to say the least. Snaps taken, given to Matter, stopped in the backfield by Georgia Teague once again. Birmingham march backwards once again, 2nd and 20 for the Lions as this huge drive is getting more and more difficult. Silly errors. And a huge amount of disruption coming from that Thrashers D-line. Sarah Jane Brain having a sterling night on that right side of the Thrashers defensive line. Mayakar takes the snap, hands it off to Matter, who finds a way forward and finds a way out of tackles. Brought down from behind by the woman we were just talking about, Sarah Jane Brain. She seems to be able to read and react to everything Birmingham are throwing at her.
Yeah, she's been a real standout player, along with so many other of these defensive players during this second half. Very shaky first half from Thrashers, but something seems to have changed. And when you listen to this crowd as well and how they're reacting to them, you can tell there's a lot of support here for them.
The noise seems to be with the what many would have called the underdogs coming into this one. They're certainly acting like overdogs right now. 3rd and 13 for Birmingham. Mayakar has receivers to the right, takes the snap, drops back, pressure coming as they look for the receiver's screen. It's going to be blown up though in the backfield, as that's going to be illegal touching, I think, from number 61, Betsy Maudsley, who the lineman shouldn't have brought that in. We'll wait for the call.
Illegal touching, number 61. Penalty includes loss of a down, 5 yards from the previous spot, 4th down.
That is a huge penalty to give away from Maudsley, because it surely takes the decision out of the sideline's hands about whether to go for it or not when you're staring at suddenly a 4th and 18.
100%. There's no point in going for it on a 4th and 18, especially now the Thrashers had that moment in the first half where they made the mistake. That mistake will not be happening again after that conversation that happened.
We've already heard the commentators curse from Utash before tonight. I mean, you put a lot of weight of expectation on Georgia T to get things right in terms of returning this. It's Delaney, who stood at the 35-yard line waiting to take this punt as Birmingham line up with everybody out to the left. It's going to be a fake to Matter, who tries to extend the play, flag on the play at the line of scrimmage, and that could well be that for the Birmingham Lions offense. We'll wait for the call once again. Gutsy call from Wayne Hill to go for it with a fake punt run on that play for Matter.
Illegal formation. Too many players in the backfield. That penalty is going to be declined. The result of the play is a turnover, 1st down, Solent.
Solent Thrashers just want the ball in their hands. Preservation the key with 5 minutes to go. Run clock as much as possible, but make sure you ensure there are no errors on the handoffs.
The interesting thing is Birmingham are making a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes. And this is not like Birmingham to be getting this many flags against them, especially with their experience. Their experience normally comes through with not making illegal formations, making sure that nothing happens, and making sure they're doing things properly. So
Lions on the field, but Canaries rattled in their cage as Curry takes the snap, just looks to lead it off the left side of the line. Run down at the line of scrimmage. No gain, maybe half a yard if that. But more importantly, clock time ticking away. Down to 4 minutes in the fourth quarter. 1 point ball game here. If you're joining us late on the stream, you've missed an absolute banger with Birmingham with a 14-point advantage at 1 point at the start of this second half. The Solent Thrashers have come back in this one thanks to touchdowns from Tuva Strom. 3 on the day for her. As Curry takes the snap out of the gun on second down. She's going to keep it again. Blockers in front of her, trying to work and weave her way through up the right hash marks, brought down and falling forward for around about a 6-yard gain. And a 3rd and 4 coming up. Another one who's in that MVP contender, Curry, right now, in terms of she's run the ball, thrown the ball, handed the ball off. She's made tackles on special teams as well that have been important. This might be the most important. A 3rd and 3 with 3 minutes to go. Seasons and titles are defined on such short yardage. There's hands on heads on the Thrashers sideline right now. Birmingham waiting for their chance on offense to have one more crack at this as they give the handoff up the middle. And I don't think it's going to be enough to bring up a fresh set of downs. It'll be 4th and short as Wood couldn't get the yardage required. Do you go for it?
I think at this field position, at this
Time
point,
out.
yes.
Birmingham, 2:49 left in quarter number 4.
Birmingham take their second time out here to stop the clock at 2 minutes 50. I think you're right, Tash, in terms of a 4th and 2. You've been making ground and gains through that running game, and you just need a yard and a half, 2 yards to get yourself in position to maybe wrap this game up and run clock for the remainder.
And when you look at some of the things they've been able to do, not necessarily in this position where they've been on the 4th down, but where they've only had a couple of yards to make, they can do those quick dive plays, but also we've seen them do that misdirection and make sure that they're actually able to get themselves into the position they need to be. So I think it's an important time out for them to just regroup and decide what they're going to do.
Anna McClure has just looked towards the stand and asked for calm and quiet. Shades on, poker face shown from the Thrashers head coach. Curry takes the snap. Can she find the 2 yards needed? Reaching out for the gain. This is going to be close. There's no indication yet. She's short. Birmingham ball. 2:40 left. 1 timeout remaining for Birmingham. And now the pressure falls on that Birmingham offense that have stuttered in the last quarter or so. The gains haven't been there on the ground. It's one last effort for the Thrashers defensive line. As we're going to get the measure. They're checking the spot. Yeah, it's a yard short. Some might question the favourable spot for Birmingham on that as Curry reached out to try and get that extra yard like she did on the 2-point conversion. And now the Thrashers trying to incite the crowd. It does help if you're on this sideline in front of the grandstand. You can try and control that crowd atmosphere. The Thrashers trying to do exactly that, including their head coach Adam McClure, as we see the stretch again from Curry. Nowhere she has to get to. Knees were down though. It's a superb tackle from Ollie Davis. It's a championship saving tackle from Ollie Davis.
That's what experience brings you. Ollie Davis has been playing this game for years, been on GB, played at every single level, played for multiple teams, but Birmingham's been the team that she's always come back to. And it's really important for her to make that tackle.
Is there a last Lions roar in this arena tonight? They've only had to come from down the road. Mayakar sits in the pocket, throws it, and it's dropped at midfield. Claire, who's come up clutch already today, seeing that one slip through the fingers, and there was nothing but empty field in front of her if she brought that in.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake there by the Solent defence. You never want to allow your receiver to get deeper than you, especially if you are the last line of defence and you are that safety. If you aren't deeper than that receiver, if they've got good hands, they're going.
2nd and 10 coming up for Birmingham. Down at their own 30-yard line. They hand it off up the middle. There's not much room for John to pick up more than maybe 4 yards or so. 3rd and 6 coming up.
It's really interesting. They keep going for these dive plays and they're not bouncing it out anymore. I don't know if that's down to injuries. I don't know if that's down to something else that's happening, but there is definitely something that's happened on that Birmingham offense that means they're not bouncing out.
Well, how big is the loss of Marriott Hughes on that O-line that she's had to make her way out of the game? May have just changed this Birmingham Lions attack. Timeout being called on the field, it looks like. So we get to the 2-minute warning.
That is a 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Well, I think they'd say in the pro ranks it's Brady time at this point. Birmingham with 1 timeout remaining. 2 minutes to almost go the distance. Just under 70 yards needed on this drive. Stuffed in the backfield though by Tuva Strom. 4th down coming up for Birmingham Lions and the season on the line.
Timeout. Birmingham. 3rd and final timeout. 1 minute 46 seconds.
Birmingham, no more timeouts left. Last chance to stop the clock. Last chance to lead themselves to the promised land of back-to-back championships. You know what it means to the Birmingham Lions. It's an organisation that have changed the shape of Birmingham University with the success they've had on the American football field. Every single team's name from all sports had to be changed for the success of Wayne Hill's Birmingham Lions at the university level after they won national championships. It united the university collectively in a name, in a brand, in an iconography, and now their women have to unite on offense to try and find a way to convert on the biggest 4th and 6 of the season so far. 1:46 to go, but it's all about the 6 yards in front of Raina Mayakar and her offense as she gets set to take the snap. 2 receivers out to the right, including Sophia Clark. Stanley in motion. It's a receiver screen that falls incomplete in front of Clark. Mayakar with her hands on her head. Can't believe they couldn't set that up. And that surely is ball game for the Thrashers.
We're into the 2-minute warning.
No timeouts remaining. No more chances for the Lions. And Solent can wrap this thing up. Mayakar taking the snap, trying to use that Stanley motion that they've used all evening with the fake handoff and then the receiver screen that was never really set up anyway. Credit to Mo Delaney, who read it and was going to be there on the tackle regardless.
The question is, did Tuva Strom get a fingertip to that? Did Tuva Strom get a fingertip to that? Because if she did, that is a game-changing play, and that has potentially just won the Solent Thrashers the national championship.
Kneel down, some victory formation for the Thrashers. Curry will certainly enjoy this. These are the best moments in football. Just needs the snap. And what a story for the Solent Thrashers. A team that were in the regional rounds of the women's divisions just 2 years ago. 2 years in the top flight, thanks in huge part to this woman's 3 touchdowns, the AP Sports MVP Tuva Strom, helping on both sides of the ball to guide the Thrashers to a national championship. What a performance from the receiver.
As we say, needs to change the surname. It's Tuva Strong now. Tuva Strong.
Curry again takes the kneel down that will wind away the last 30 seconds or so. Ball game, Thrashers, national champions, Solent Thrashers. Scenes of celebration for Adam McClure's outfit. Unsurpassed ecstasy for those in gold and black. An unbelievable achievement from a team so young at this level, so strong in their desire, and coming back from a half-time deficit and a first quarter as well that looked like this was going to be a rather rocky affair for the side from the south. But they are your 2025 NWFL national champions, and they topple Birmingham Lions for the second time this season, but for the most important time this season.
I think you can see how important it is to them. You've got players in tears, you've got players just showing their emotions, and it's great to see. And as you say, they've only been a team. The Solent Thrashers have only had a women's team for such a short period of time. For them to build up the way they've built up, be able to produce the talent they've been able to produce, and then on top of that, they've been able to now win the national championship. It's absolutely incredible.
It's almost, and I was hesitant to paint it as David against Goliath, because that would almost do Solent Thrashers an injustice, considering where they are and the position they now find themselves in as national champions. But you think about the size of the roster, the organisation in terms of the depth and the funding that they have. I mean, this is a side, much like Edinburgh earlier today, they've had to start a GoFundMe to make sure they can compete in this national championship. You can still donate to all of the team's GoFundMe pages, and it would be worth every penny to them if they can just have more of the cost covered to enjoy these sorts of moments. But it is a fledgling organisation. It is a much smaller programme in comparison to Birmingham Lions. And it is a Herculean achievement to come back from the adversity of that and the adversity of the 4 quarters that were put in front of them behind the 8 ball for so long. But it's all about having that lead at the end of the 4th quarter, and that was the position they worked their way into.
Yeah, you just said it all there. The fact is we saw in the first half such a dominant Lions team, and I think that some of the flags, some of the unfortunate injuries, which really, really hope those players are okay, because they are such important players for the Lions. Well, I really hope they're okay, but I think that those players potentially going down actually led Solent to be able to attack some of those holes that then formed because of that. And we didn't see a Lions team that we've seen previously, and they are missing key players. When you look at the injury list that they've got, it's really important to remember that the Lions themselves aren't actually the fully fit team that we have seen previously. Mm-hmm. And I think that with that, you have to commend these players for coming out and playing the way that they've played, because the Lions have been so good in what they do. Yeah,
you talk about Offensive Player of the Year last year. Emily Irvine still struggling with that long-term injury, of course. Anna Akinyosoya as well, who had to miss today due to concussion protocol, which it has to be the most important thing, making sure players are able to play, but play in their own right condition and their right self. but those were big losses. You'll talk about Mariette Hughes as well on that offensive line, and as soon as she went out of the game, that offense really started to struggle, as we can take a look at the tail of the tape, and it started so positively for Raina Mayaka and her offense. The handoff to Grace John, getting the opening score of the game after the Thrashers had struggled on their first drive. And Birmingham, well, you worried that they were just creating an insurmountable amount of momentum, at least in this game, particularly when they were able to break the second touchdown from Ruth Matters' big run. After these sorts of plays, though, in the first quarter, that Solent defense barely missed a beat in terms of shutting down running backs in particular at the line of scrimmage and in the backfield.
Yeah, I think that's what's really important to remember with the Lions, is they did so well in being able to just get around.
Things started to take a turn up in positivity, particularly when Ailey Curry started using her legs and that mobility that she has in spades and used to great effect when the Thrashers needed it. They needed somebody to carry this team a little bit, put the game on their shoulders, and that's exactly what Curry did in the end, taking the snaps and then giving the handoff as well to Tuva Strom. Tuva Strom would be the character on the field, really, for the Thrashers throughout the evening. The first of 3 touchdowns that she had on the day. Not after, though, Birmingham would find another one back. Sophia Clark just got moving on the Jets, and it was a jet sweep that made a big burst down the left sideline that put Birmingham back in the ascendancy with their 3rd touchdown of the day. But after that 3rd tutty, things would take a turn for the worse. The Thrashers finding Storm once again and finding her way down the left sideline, breaking through tackles. Tuva Strom would have the final word as well on the jet to the right and going in untouched for the game-winning touchdown. The Birmingham Lions receiving their runners-up medal. They've not had to take one of these since 2022 when they were beaten by the London Warriors, and it is a bitter pill at times to take when you're receiving a runners-up medal, but it is still such an impressive season for Wayne Hill and this Birmingham Lions outfit. It's not quite perhaps the unbeaten heavy heights of a year ago, and there will be some that will remember that, and this will drive some fuel in the fire of the Lions to get back to this position and do it right on the night when it matters.
The Lions have done this so many times in terms of being on this field and either being, as you say, on the winning or the runner-up team, that you can see it in their faces. They're not disappointed at all. They've still got smiles on their faces. They're still talking to the crowd there, but also they'll be so happy for the Solent Thrashers, because a lot of the players on the lineup for the Birmingham Lions are teammates with the Solent Thrashers team on GB, and so it's really great to actually see all of them being so happy for the Thrashers, but also the hugs that we saw in the handshakes. It was such a good moment between the two teams and shows so much sportsmanship. And here are the Thrashers receiving their winners' medals, which I'm sure they'll be extremely excited about. And next up, they will be lifting that trophy for their first ever NWFL championship, taking their places behind the champions' pop-ups.
Yeah, the banners have been set. I tell you what, there was a long time that a lot of people in this arena didn't think it was going to be the Thrashers making their way behind those championship banners, and full credit to the Birmingham Lions players who are staying out on the field and applauding their opposition as they get to take their moment, well, not quite in the sun, but in the early evening air. The beautiful sunset gives us a grand finale and a superb backdrop as the sun sets on the NWFL season. But I imagine that the party for the Solent Thrashers is going to be going until that sun starts to re-rise again on Sunday morning.
We talked so much about MVPs and who could potentially get MVP, and there were so many names on the Thrashers that just kept coming out because there were so many people that made important plays that got the Thrashers here to this championship.
Yeah, it could have been a very long discussion indeed. It's one for the NWFL podcast to try and break down. Georgia Teague, Mo Delaney, of course, Ayla Curry as well could have been the grandstand performer, but the MVP does go to Tuva Strom. She looks almost surprised, but 3 touchdowns, a superb defensive performance as well. The AP Sports MVP was always going to go to that woman. She can't believe it. Almost looks embarrassed to have the name MVP above on her forehead, but it's just the icing on the cake. Adam McClure takes the trophy, and the Solent Thrashers are your 2025 national champions. The NWFL has a new name to write in the annals of its history, and you get the feeling that this Thrashers team may well be coming back to a few more of these if they can continue to build on the foundation that Adam McClure and their team have been able to put together. And the only problem about having such a glorious trophy to get your hands on is that it certainly shows up the fingerprints on the silver finish. Worth the journey, worth the pain and anguish of the season, and a moment certainly worth the wait. And I'm pretty sure that's a live FaceTime with Steph Wyatt on her honeymoon as well. It just shows what a team organisation this is. That even in her absence, they try to get her involved in the celebrations as well. Adam McClure basking in the limelight with his players and that coaching staff as well. He's not going to be able to see in a minute with those shades on. I don't think they're hiding anything but a glint in the eye and the glint of a national championship winning head coach. But with becoming a national champion and leading this team, it requires responsibilities as well, such as having to face the music from the media after a national championship victory. Adam McClure is down there ready and waiting to give us his thoughts and feedback on an emotional roller coaster. He's down there with Stephen.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ollie, here with the victorious head coach. Victory! How good does that sound?
Amazing. My voice doesn't say that, but what a game. What a game. I don't know where to start, really. This season's been amazing. From the girls to the coaches, everyone's been absolute super troopers on that. Insane. Lost for words, really. It's, trying to process it all right now is difficult, but...
Of course, and we can take you back to the start because it was a tricky start for your girls. It took a few minutes to get those get their sea legs almost in the final, but once it started to move towards the end of the first half, end of the second quarter, it really looked like we were in for a really close second half, and that's exactly what it proved to be.
Yeah, I think our biggest weapon this year has been our tempo. We started the game, again, not quite with it, but we kept persevering it, keep running that tempo. We noticed sort of that late second quarter that they were struggling to keep up with our pace. So that's why we just kept chipping away, and getting those results and those yardage that we needed.
And you talk about the pace, which is true, but you do that with quite a few players playing on both sides of the ball. How on earth do they do that?
It's not been easy. It's been a long season, so they're quite conditioned now. But at the start of the season, it's a bit nervy, but we managed to get it sorted.
I want to ask you, this franchise has been around a while, but the women's setup hasn't. To come into a final like this already was amazing. You've had to crowdfund your way to this fixture.
Yeah.
Playing against a legacy team like Birmingham Lions, to go and win the thing. It was an achievement just to get here, but what does victory mean for you guys today?
It means everything, really. It's been one that from within we've known we can be at this game. We can hang with Birmingham, we can hang with the Warriors, we can hang with Teesside. Manchester gave us a good run at the start of the year. score may not reflect it, but they gave us a good run. So every game that we played this year has been a bit tough, but we started to get those results to actually fall in our favour this year. So yeah, we've known internally for a while that we can do this. So yeah, it's been nice to let the outside world see what we already knew.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to let you go and enjoy the celebrations. Congratulations, Adam. An incredible victory. We're going to bring in Tuva Strom here. Tuva, just first of all, congratulations. An incredible performance. MVP for me was a shoo-in, mainly because you played offence and defence and did both amazingly well. It had to be you. I mean, how on earth do you find the conditioning to play both sides of the ball like that with so much energy?
Honestly, it's just lots of training and just hard work. Always with the team, you always got to play both sides at training, because it's kind of rare you get an entire side each time at training. But we all managed to ball out in the end, and just playing both sides, they've taught me each way to do it. And it's just all because of the coaches in the team. That's why I'm here. It's amazing.
Yeah, I've got to ask. I mean, just spoke to your head coach, Adam, there. The story of the Solent Thrashers is just such an amazing one. Bit of a fairy tale, sort of, very short road to get here. But what does this mean to you, to the group at large?
It means everything. I started Thrashers in 2023 when it was becoming Thrashers. So I've been with them since 7s through to the first matches of 9s, and now we're here as the champions. It's amazing. It means everything.
National champions. I mean, how good does that sound?
Oh, amazing. The best ever.
This group seems very, very tight-knit. It's not the biggest squad. It's part of the reason why you and several others had to play both sides of the ball.
Exactly.
But does that make it almost a little bit more special?
It definitely does. Playing both sides, it's a hell of an experience. It's draining, it's hard work, but it's worth it.
And I just wanted to ask you, we know the situation for you guys to get here. There's been crowdfunding and all the rest of it. It's been such an incredible mission. Fair for you watching at home, I know, who are absolutely probably on the verge of tears right now celebrating your guys' journey. Have you got a message for them watching?
Keep it up, keep watching us, because we're not going to give up and we're going to be here the same time next year.
Best of luck, that too. Congratulations on an amazing performance. Go and enjoy the celebrations. Going to bring in Tash Crump to round us off. Tash, that was extraordinary. I mean, you've got such a big smile on your face. That says a lot about how that game unfolded, I think. It was a game to be enjoyed, wasn't it? It just had so much going on.
Yeah, I did not expect that. If we were to say at the end of the first half that the Thrashers were going to come away as the national champions, I'd have been like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe. But like, that was such a great second half from them on the offence and the defence. It just truly showed how far they've come as an outfit, and in such a short time, and this is only the beginning for them. Like, this could be the start of absolute dominance.
Well, you heard the confidence from Tuva there. I love the nickname you and Ollie gave her on Coventry as well, Tuva Strong, because, I mean, she's a freak athlete, isn't she? To be able to play not just both sides of the ball, because we see that a lot at this level, but to the level she did was insane.
It was more actually, so like as a running back, seeing people physically carry people as they're running, that's what you want from like a powerful player. You want somebody who doesn't get phased when somebody tackles them, that can literally just drag people along with them, and that's exactly what she was doing, which was just incredible to watch. And yeah, it was just a great game, and I think it's the perfect way to round up the Saturday. It also helps that I am from Southampton, so you know,
yeah,
I'm a little bit happy with that, but very impartial at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. We should have a word for the Birmingham Lions, because it took two to make such a fabulous game like that. It was close right until the very end. So many great plays on both sides of the ball for the Lions. We thought in the second half it might be going in their favour with those late fumble recoveries. A great performance, but just short, but we know they'll be back.
Yeah, they're always back. You can never count the Lions out. They are such a force to be reckoned with. And the last time they lost a championship was back in 2023. And you look at what they then came back and did last year. They're going to be out on the hunt. And like when we say that Lions hunt in packs, like this will be one pack that you do not want to mess with.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Tash. It's been such a fun day here at Butts Park. And the best news is we get to do it all over again tomorrow for Britbowl 37. The championship game should be a huge amount of fun. We're live with you around lunchtime for what will be an absolute belter. For myself and Tash, Molly, for all the team here, we hope you've enjoyed the coverage. Congratulations to our champions today, the London Blitz and the Solent Thrashers. And we'll see you tomorrow.